Night Football greetings from the Jim Landers broadcast booth at Everett Field. It is time for Benton Fighting Panther football. Tonight, a couple of old foes tangle after a 2-year hiatus as the Benton Panthers welcome the Dorado Wildcats in a 6A East Conference matchup. Both teams entered tonight's game 1-2 overall, 1-1 in conference play. The Panthers are looking to bounce back from a 38-14 defeat at Little Rock Catholic last Friday. Meanwhile, down in Union County, Dorado notched their first win of the season in convincing fashion, 44-6 over Greene County Tech. There's a lot at stake tonight in this Week 4 matchup as both teams look to avoid going down 2 games in the standings. Since coming to Benton in 2014, Brad Harris has been a part of 7 wins in 8 games against Dorado, though the Wildcats lead the overall series with 28 wins in 44 games. I'm Jim Gardner, joined tonight by Terry Benham, Dio Vanucci, Kason Mertens, Tony Linehan of the Saline Cougar, and as always, the #1 fan of the Benton Panthers, Freddie Reinhardt. Panther football is brought to you tonight by M&M Productions and is presented by Everett Buick GMC. Panther football is sponsored by CTS Industrial Services, Sanders Ground Essentials, Merchants and Farmers Bank, Jones Heating and Air, Hamilton Family Dentistry, HBA Construction, Black Corley Owens and Hughes, Farmers Bank and Trust, Riverside Grocery and Catering, First Security Bank, Allied Glass, ACDI, Saline Memorial Health System, Congo Fireplace and Patio, the City of Benton, and Elliott Electrical. Terry Benham, I'm going to bring you in first because it just sort of feels right again. The Benton Panthers and Dorado Wildcats playing each other.
You're going to bring me in because you know how much I love Friday night football in Benton, Arkansas.
Yes.
And it is a special time in our community, and to see all of these young ladies out here on the field doing a cheer event, and everyone's getting ready for a great football game against one of our kind of old rivals, one of the rivals from the old dirty South, as Coach Nether used to call it, the Dorado Wildcats. And Dorado is one of my favorite road trips. In my Ed Ogeron voice, I would say, Tiger Harry's.
Yeah.
One of my favorite restaurants down there, and always a favorite road trip when we were doing the conference games. And now they're back in the conference, so I guess we get to go down and see them next year.
Yeah, we do. Dio, it just a very familiar face in Dorado comes to town tonight.
Man, there's some great memories playing Dorado Wildcats in years past, in games that were, regular season conference games, but some really big playoff games over the years, close-fought battles, and we were talking with Kason Mertens that, Dorado's the team that hung the banner that said, tell your girlfriends you'll be free next Friday night, and motivated that group of
How'd that work out?
It did not work out well. The Panthers were victorious in the fight of the 2 cats, big time. So some great memories against Dorado and some fantastic games. Dorado chock full of athletes. Going to be a good game tonight.
This is the 45th time Benton and Dorado will play all time. It's the 8th most often played opponent in Benton Panther history. These two teams played every year from 1981 until 2019 as conference rivals. And then a couple of years ago, the AAA split Benton and Dorado apart, had the 2-year hiatus, so we're back as friendly foes tonight. First time these two schools ever met was in 1936. And I think Jim Landers was at the mic that night calling the game. Dorado defeated Benton 26-0. The last time these two teams played was in 2019, and Benton won at Memorial Stadium down in Dorado 41-31. As we look at the team comparison, Dio, both teams come in 1-2, but maybe with a little bit different momentum. Benton looking to bounce back from what was a really hard defeat last week at Catholic, while Dorado comes in on a high following a 44-6 win over Greene County Tech.
Yeah, Benton, Benton is licking its wounds a little bit right now after the loss to Catholic. I think that that's one of those games that we started that game, and you look across the field and you think, well, golly, we're bigger than them across the board, and we should be able to take care of business. So the Panthers are hungry tonight. That's one thing. But it's going to, we're going to see how that comes. Is it better to come off of a loss, or is it better to come off a pretty resounding victory? Because you got two teams coming at it from both ends of the spectrum.
And Terry, I guess the question is, are we going to see the Benton Panthers that played Sylvan Hills, or are we going to see the Benton Panthers that played Little Rock Catholic? Because it was two polar opposite teams the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it really has been. And all season long, I would say in all 3 games, there have been times that they looked so good you wouldn't think that anybody could beat us. And there have been times where we've just kind of broken down on the field. And, all hats off to Little Rock Catholic. They came out, they played physical, they played fast, they flew around to the ball, they made good tackles, they didn't make very many mistakes. And they held Braylon Russell to 74 yards rushing. And I got to be honest with you, coming into this season, after he rushed for over 100 on Bryant, I didn't think anybody on our schedule would hold him under 100 yards rushing. But Catholic did.
They did. 20 carries, 74 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns, caught 3 passes for 49. That offensive line continues to perform. They help create 4 yards per carry. 4 yards per carry, that's first down every third down at that pace, and still no sacks allowed through 3 games for that offensive line. Jake Jones had a good game last week, 12 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and a sack. J. Thomas Pepper recorded another double-digit tackle night with 11. Patrick Shipp as well with 10 and a tackle for loss. Hunter Goodwin and Walter Hicks both had a sack, and we're not going to see Hunter Goodwin tonight, Dio, at defensive end. He is out tonight for the Panthers.
Yeah, he is an excellent player on that defensive front, and that's really where tonight's game, to me, is going to be huge for the PDC, the Panther Demolition Crew. It all starts up front, and with Goodwin out, whoever's coming in behind him is going to have to step up pretty good.
So you're going to see Ian Alvarez, Peyton McNeely at the ends, and little Jake Herbner at noseman tonight. He may not be big, but he'll be scrappy. I can promise you.
Yes.
So we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll hear Brad Harris's comments from Tuesday night's Panther Live at Lost Pizza to preview tonight's matchup between the Panthers and El Dorado, brought to you by M&M Productions and the Benton Football Network.
We all have our share of new beginnings in life, like new friends and new adventures, and there will always be new ways to participate and help in our communities. Here at Everett, community focus is a top priority. That's part of the Everett difference. And so is a strong dedication to our employees and customers, with sales and service support that's unmatched in the industry. So when you're ready for that next vehicle purchase, come see us at Everett or click on everettvgmc.com.
Family and community go hand in hand. That's why ACDI proudly calls downtown Benton our home, and why we are excited to be a part of this community. Hi, I'm Josh Lane, the team captain at ACDI. My teammates understand the importance of serving in the community, and at ACDI, we'll always make that a priority. We are proud sponsors of the Benton Panther football team and thankful to share our family with this great hometown. Go Panthers!
Allied Glass is a full-service glass shop located in historic downtown Benton. Allied Glass is a third-generation business and family-owned and operated since 1967. Mirrors, shower doors, commercial storefronts, tabletops, screens, plexiglass, and much more. For all your glass needs, call Allied Glass at 501-778-6244, located at 115 East Sevier in downtown Benton.
Any lasting structure begins with a good blueprint, and every good blueprint must be designed specifically for the people it serves. The Benton Event Center, Riverside Park, and the new Boys and Girls Club, all designed by the professional architects at Black, Corley, Owens, and Hughes. They understand the Benton community and are a major part of our economic success. Proud sponsors of Benton Panther football and valued partners for our community.
of all the teams on our schedule this year, the history with El Dorado dates back farther than anyone else, all the way back to 1936, and the history with El Dorado hadn't been that good really until 2014.
Right.
And since 2014, Benton's won 7 out of 8.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've got some good memories of your time here in games with El Dorado.
Yeah, when I moved to Benton, that was a place I'd never coached. Had been to El Dorado and everything, but El Dorado won a couple of conference championships and state championships, and that's the challenge of it as a coach. You want to coach against those good teams. I'd never coached against Pine Bluff, and we go to Pine Bluff in 14 and beat them. And they have an awesome old stadium. I love that stadium down there, just the history of it and everything. But we've been very fortunate. We've won 7 out of 8. The one year that we got beat down there, felt like we probably should have won that game, but we've been very successful, and had some really good nights. In 14, we beat them twice, and then had some really good games, and one memory that sticks in 14 to me when I'm the defensive coordinator. We talk about the south end zone magic and things like that, but Drew also had a huge night that night receiving for us, and Stone Paul. That memory of that night, that's what high school football is about. You win in close ball games. And making memories about the stadium and building that. The Palace will always be remembered for that south end zone. We made a lot of huge defensive plays down there, and it kind of started with that El Dorado game. But I was really kind of disappointed or sad to see us split from them, because I like playing El Dorado. They always have really good athletes. Coach Reed, when he was down there, always did a tremendous job coaching those guys. And Stephen Jones does a good job also. They're the defending 6A state champs. So, I'm excited to get them back on the schedule. That was one game that I felt like we needed to continue to play. Sheridan's another one. We're 25 minutes down the road. That's a rivalry game, should be. But excited about getting the Wildcats back this week.
I know, watching the film I've watched of El Dorado, they look like a typical El Dorado team to me.
Much.
They're big on the lines and have athletes and speed all over the field.
Most definitely. You're going to see a totally different looking team than you got to see against Catholic. You're going to see big-bodied kids on the offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, speed all over the field. I mean, they are athletic this year. Everybody I talked to is like, man, El Dorado's down this year. They graduated like 30-something seniors last year. Well, if that's a down year, I would love to have those guys, every year. But they are very talented. They're struggling a little bit at the quarterback position right now. They're rotating some guys through there. They're actually putting their best athlete, the Plummer kid, that's their tailback. They're taking some direct snaps with him. They're dangerous with him and Burns in the backfield together. The Burns kid, he won the 6A 100 meters last year, fastest kid in 6A, so they've got some talent again, very talented. There's a lot of things out there we feel good about, though. We feel like we can take advantage of some things. They play a lot of man coverage on defense, and typically we do a good job of getting people lost, with some motions and shifts and things like that, and taking advantage of that. So I know Coach Ray and Coach Harrison Shaw and Gentry have done a really good job of scheming that up this week. So we're excited about the challenge. Offensively, man, they have got some talent, the Burns kid, the Plummer kid, they're explosive. So we're going to have to do a great job on defense of running the football and do a much better job of tackling this week.
So offensively, they're going to spread you out, try to get that speed and space.
Right.
What are we going to see from El Dorado defensively?
Defensively, they've been primarily basing out of a 4-man front and playing straight man coverage, man. They're going to bring some pressures at you out of a 4-2-5 look. Their defensive line, they got some thick kids that can move, are athletic, and their linebackers. They probably have better linebackers at El Dorado, but, I mean, they're very good at linebackers still, and they run to the football really well. Their coverage guys are good. They're fast. They're athletic guys. So, we got our hands full. I mean, they're going to be a good football team. I really feel like, they played Marion and got beat by Marion 27-23 at Marion. But the Plummer kid didn't step foot on the field, so their best player didn't play. And then they beat Greene County Tech 44-14 or something like that last week. He played a little bit. The word on the street is he's been in the doghouse a little bit and got some trouble at school, so they set him. And I'm sure he'll be out of the doghouse Friday night, ready to go. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But very talented group on defense. They're going to try to pressure you into some mistakes, and they've got the athletes to do that.
So give me a couple of keys for a Panther victory.
You know, I said this last week, Jim, and I really believe it. It's got to start up front with us. We've got to be able to control the line of scrimmage on the offensive line against their defensive line. Their defensive line is more athletic than what we got to see this last week. They don't cause probably quite as much chaos as what Catholic did. The Catholic was all over the place out of their three front stuff, stunning, blitzing and stuff. We're not going to see that as much, but we need to be able to control that line of scrimmage, get the run game going with Braylon, and you know, hit some pass plays, you know, to open the run game up a little bit more. You know, we know that we're not going to throw the football around 50 times a game, but we need to be able to throw the football, you know. So offensive line, control that line of scrimmage, and, you know, the defensive part of me says we got to tackle better. If we can't tackle better, we don't have a chance, you know. So that's what I've challenged the guys, you know, today at practice. You know, so we're going to get after it again tomorrow at practice, and we got to wrap up and make plays on defense and get back to that PDC mentality of causing some turnovers and creating havoc for the offense. And if we can't do that, it's going to be a long night for us, honestly.
Coach, good luck Friday.
Thank you very much.
And good luck to the guys. Let's get back to the winning ways of Benton Panther football this Friday against El Dorado.
Merchants and Farmers Bank is built around hard work and dedication, offering big bank products but small bank friendly, working hard to help individuals or businesses reach their financial goals or dreams, dedicated to providing great friendly customer service, all the while getting to know our customers. This reflects our motto, building relationships, one customer at a time. We'd like to invite you to be next. Stop in today at the corner of Spring Hill and Highway 5 in Bryan, or our newest branch at 300 North Main Street in downtown Benton, where you'll find that your experience here matters. Visit our website today at mfbanknet.com or find us on Facebook, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hamilton Family Dentistry, dental care that grows with you. We're family owned and are ready to provide dental care for your family. From your newborn baby to your great-grandparents, we see them all. Give us a call at 653-2422 or come visit us at 2422 Spring Hill Road.
HBA Construction is proud supporters of Benton Panther football this fall. Visit them online at hbaconst.com or find them on Facebook. HBA specializes in home remodeling and additions, new home construction, residential rental remodeling and maintenance, new deck and repairs, privacy wood fences, and more. Visit them online, hbaconst.com, find them on Facebook, or call Hunter today, 501-722-8700.
Yes, we've got Bear on the line with a question for Trey. Bear, what's your question?
Hey, Randy, this is Bear, first-time listener, long-time caller. I wanted to ask Trey about Sanders Ground Essentials. I know they are real five-star guys wanted by everybody. I heard they have an excellent weed control and fertilization program, and they do customized plans based on annual soil results for all their customers. I just want to know what you guys have heard. I'm going to hang up and listen now.
Bear, you should call them at 315-9395 or on the web at sandersground.com. Let's get growing.
Great crowd filling in as the El Dorado band plays the El Dorado alma mater. Terry, let's break down the Benton offense, El Dorado defense matchup. This is an El Dorado defense that yielded just 42 total yards to Greene County Tech in their game last week. 22 of that came on one play. They had 14 tackles for loss. Looks like a typical El Dorado defense to me.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, every week it's going to kind of be the same thing for us on offense. It all starts and ends really with the offensive line and how much success that we can do. And they use their linebackers a lot like Little Rock Catholic does. They move them around a lot. And the guy that we're going to chase tonight is number 7, Curtis Jefferson. He is their middle linebacker and moves really, really well and fills the gaps. The Wildcats have faced mainly run teams this year, and they'll isolate those defensive backs in man-to-man coverage. And so maybe the Panthers can take a little advantage of that if we can have some success in that run game. And then they also like to bring a linebacker into pressure on just about every play. They're coming from somewhere, very much like Coach Harris's defenses. And, the key will be for Benton to find a way to run into that pressure and get into the secondary and let Braylon do his thing.
Curtis Jefferson, their leading tackler, leads the team in sacks as well with 4. On the other side of the ball, Dio, the Benton defense, El Dorado offense matchup.
Well, on paper, you look at it, Panthers come in allowing 367 yards total a game. Wildcats come in gaining 321, so pretty even matchup on paper. The thing Brad Harris told us is he counted after reviewing film that, the Benton defense last week against Catholic had 26 missed tackles. He couldn't remember a more poor performance of tackling in his coaching career, which is, I think we saw that on the field. So expect to see the Benton defense have that buttoned up to a certain degree, because I'm sure that was drilled this week in practice. And that's really going to be the key for this Benton defense is wrap up. When we get to the keys to victory, that's one of mine, is defense has got to wrap up. The El Dorado offense, they've got some athletes. They've got a lot of speed. The quarterback can throw the ball decently well. But really it's going to come down to us stopping the run game and forcing them to be a little bit one-dimensional.
Shadarius Plummer, their all-state running back, who was the MVP of the state championship game last year, averages 119 yards a game, 3 touchdowns. And then DeAndre Burns, who is committed to Arkansas State, he had 8 catches for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns against Greene County last week. Let's recap this week in Benton Panther sports. The Benton Lady Panther volleyballers defeated Brooklyn 3-1 and then swept Lakeside and Texarkana 3-0. They are now 14-0 overall, 7-0 in conference play, and every conference win has been a sweep by Coach Shoup's Lady Panther volleyballers. Their next home game is next Thursday when they host El Dorado, and it'd be great to fill the arena and support the Lady Panther volleyball team. In golf, the boys are 5A South champions, and the girls place 3rd in the 5A South this week at Hot Springs Country Club. The boys were led by Paxton Lane with a 567. As Dio shakes his head in disbelief, that's a freshman.
I'm not playing him.
No,
Not for money, at least.
No, I want to be his agent right now. So 567. Elias Payne, Eli Cowden, and Mason McDaniel also made all-conference. For the girls, Finley Van Hook was all-conference. She shot a 89 to lead the girls. 5A State Championship boys will be on October 4th at Hurricane Golf and Country Club. The girls will go to Russellville this week to play in the 5A Girls State Championship. In cross-country, the boys placed 8th and the girls 9th at the Bison Invitational in Searcy last Saturday. Caleb Lopez, Evan Garrett, and Stephen Smith were the top 3 finishers for the boys. Jordan Cloud, Ellis Story, and Morgan Calloway for the girls. In 7th grade football on Monday night, the 7th graders won over Lakeside 26-14, and then the second game finished in an 8-8 tie. In JV football, the JV Panthers defeated Lakeside 21-14 in a game that ended with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Believe it or not, as Lakeside, in disagreement to an official's call, marched straight to the bus and left. So we're giving the Panthers the win on that. Junior high football last night at Lake Hamilton, the 8th graders won 26-18. They're now 4-0. The freshmen fell 27-26. That is back-to-back 1-point losses for the freshmen. They are now 2-2 overall. And we don't have a graphic for this, but in tennis, Benton defeated Sheridan on Tuesday 5-3 and Texarkana yesterday 7-1. The boys are now 9-2 overall, 8-2 in the 5A South. For the boys, they swept the singles with Noah Koch and Braden Young winning. The girls swept with Paisley Hopkins and Kate Calloway winning. The boys' double team of Tyler Dixon and Chase Musser won. And the girls' doubles team of Lily Jessen and Emma Young and Ellie Edmondson and Emma Browning won. They finished the regular season on Tuesday at Cabot. Last week in the 6A East, Catholic defeated Benton. El Dorado defeated Greene County Tech. Marion knocked off Jacksonville. Searcy in a close one over Sylvan Hills. And West Memphis won in overtime at Dio Vanucci's alma mater, Sheridan, 28-21. Tonight in the 6A East, we've got this good matchup here at the Palace. Marion is at Greene County Tech tonight. Catholic is at Searcy. Sheridan is at Jacksonville. Sylvan Hills is at West Memphis. Last week in Saline County, all the teams were on the road. Harmony Grove won at CAC 35-14, and Lamar won a squeaker over Bauxite 28-21. Tonight in Saline County, all the lights in the county are illuminated as Fort Smith Northside is at Bryant, Dover is at Bauxite, and Clinton is at Harmony Grove, and that is a big showdown of undefeated teams right there down in Haskell tonight. So good luck to the Cardinals as they do battle with a former Panther who's defensive coordinator at Clinton, Joe Hudson. All right, let's do our picks to click. And Terry, we're going to start with you.
Well, I picked Braylon Russell. I think that that the key for Benton is going to be able to control the ball and grind it out and really be physical at the line of scrimmage. I think if Braylon can get into the second level, he's going to have a big night. And then on defense, I picked Peyton McNeely. On film, it looks like that we can have success at the line of scrimmage, and I think Peyton, with his athletic ability, should be able to get into that backfield and cause some chaos.
Dio?
Well, on offense, I picked Donovan Pearson. I know Donovan hasn't been with us the last couple of games, and he was a game-time decision, so I'm hoping that he has a good night tonight. Maddox Davis, I believe, is actually going to start at the A position, but I expect Donovan to work in, and if push comes to shove, it's one of those things where I feel like the coach is always going to go with the better in hand. And then on defense, I'm going to ride the JTP train. I mean, he's been racking up tackles every game, playing really well. And you can really tell he's gaining a lot of confidence in knowing what he's supposed to do and where he's supposed to be. And when you have confidence in that, you start playing faster. So I expect JTP, J. Thomas Pepper, to have a big night tonight. Hopefully he can get him a good pick. That's what I'm looking for, is a pick out of JT.
Let's bring in our sideline guy, Kason Mertens, owner of 5 wins in his high school career over El Dorado. So, Kason, hope you're bringing some good vibes down there to the Panther sideline. Who's your picks to click?
Hey, guys, good to be back with you. So I'm going with Elias Payne tonight. I like what Terry said about them, playing man on the outside. And I believe he's one of our guys that if he gets a ball in his hands, and, man, he can make one man miss and go to the crib. And then I got Jake Jones on defense. With all those missed tackles last week, I just believe that he's got to be a leader, be a quarterback on defense, and lead by example and be the lead tackler tonight.
Man, that's a good pick. The defense needs somebody to step up and be a leader. No one better to do that than Jake. Kason, while we still got you real quick, why don't you give me your key to victory tonight for the Panthers?
Yeah, I was just talking to Freddie down here, and Freddie's talking about no stupid penalties. So, man, we got to keep the penalties to a minimum tonight, and then I just believe on the offensive end of the ball, man, just take care of the football. Drive it one play at a time, a first down at a time, and let's control that time of possession and limit the turnovers.
Here come the Benton Panthers onto the field. The smoke that they run through provided by Independent Fire Extinguisher Sales and Service, 515 Bird Street in Benton. Their phone number is 778-4197. Dio, give us a defensive key to victory.
Well, I kind of picked two. I cheated a little bit because I said win the line of scrimmage and wrap up. Those are my two keys to victory. And I know that that's fundamental football. Benton's got to get back to some fundamental football. You can't – you're not going to stop an offense if you can't wrap up and make tackles, and it all starts with the line of scrimmage. So got to do big there tonight.
Terry, your offensive key to victory.
Yeah, and I think it's about establishing the run. We can't get deep into the sticks on downs. We've got to win first down, and that's establishing the run and setting up the offense to have a full playbook to run from second and third down.
So that's it for the Everett Buick GMC Panther pregame show tonight. We are all set for kickoff here at the Palace. 12 minutes on the clock, and the team's going to come out and take their places for the opening kickoff. Benton will receive and will defend the north end zone as we open. Want to welcome all of the folks down in Union County watching the ball game tonight. One of our favorite road trips is always to El Dorado. And a special hello to the former voices of El Dorado football, Don Travis and John David Turbofield. Those guys retired after El Dorado won a state championship. And, Terry, I know a couple of your friends are now the voices of El Dorado.
And replaced by the new voices of El Dorado football. One of my good friends, Matt Shepard, and his brother, making the road trip up to Benton tonight. And we're happy to have them and all the folks from El Dorado. And it looks like they have a good crowd, too, tonight.
Good crowd across the way. Great crowd on the home side. And we are ready for football. Is having it teed up, Javier Rivas for El Dorado. And he approaches football, puts a left foot into it, and kicks it high and short. Chris Bernard fields it on the run, and he's over the 35-40. Good return by Bernard, and the Panthers are going to have great field position around the 48-yard line for their opening possession of the ball game. The offensive line tonight, Walker Davis, Elijah Harris, Carter Sanders, Connor Morgan, and Tanner Holden, left to right across the line. Jack Woolbright is your Benton quarterback, completing 53% of his passes on the season for 439 yards. Braylon Russell, who's been battling a stomach bug, is in there to start at running back. The receivers are Elias Payne, Logan Owen, Maddox Davis, and Drake Womack. First down and 10 Panthers, and the give off to Braylon Russell coming right, and Braylon's going to be hit and dropped for a loss back to the 45-yard line. Curtis Jefferson, Terry, on the tackle for El Dorado.
Yeah, Tacoy Stewart is over there too, and they really did a good job of penetrating the line of scrimmage and getting back and getting some hands on Braylon in the backfield.
4 receivers set, 3 split to the near side. Now Maddox Davis motions. They fake to Russell, going to throw it out to Maddox. Maddox over midfield into El Dorado territory, and he's going to be wrestled out of bounds by Caden Perry at the Wildcat 46. It's going to be 3rd and 3.
Look at this block here by Logan Owen coming up. Perfect timing on that, and got the front of the jersey so he didn't get a penalty called there. That's a reasonable play right there.
3rd down for the Panthers. Go back to the ground with Russell running left, and Russell's going to be about a yard shy of the first down as they're going to mark him at the 44. Leaves Benton with 4th and 1.
Yeah, I can't imagine how Benton wouldn't go for it here. Braylon leaning forward, almost getting to the sticks, but his knee hit the ground before the ball did.
So the Panthers going to go for it at the Wildcat 44, 4th down and 1. Give it to Braylon. Braylon with a head of steam has the first down and more, running right behind the center, Carter Sanders, down to the 39-yard line. First down, Benton.
That was a real good job that time by Drake Womack, also getting over and making a huge block, getting his guy to the ground.
So Panthers hurry to the line of scrimmage, and a false start's going to back Benton up 5 yards.
Yeah, Tanner Holden got a little excited on that play. He was ready to go a little bit before the quarterback was.
These are the kind of plays we don't need on first down. That sets up a long ways to go.
1st and 15 following the penalty, moves the football back to the 44-yard line. Go back to the ground with Russell coming right, and he is going to be run down from behind. Is making the play Trey Cook, the defensive end for El Dorado.
Yeah, 5'11", 247 pounds. Trey is pretty quick, and he was able to catch Braylon from behind.
Yeah, well, we pulled our left guard and our left tackle, and he came free. He's just fast. I mean, that was a design play, him to come in unblocked. They just assume that the running back's going to be too far away for him to get to, but they're going to have to adjust.
2nd and 17, Woolbright drops back and throws. Womack makes a great catch as he was hit immediately. A flag is thrown back where Woolbright released the football, and a roughing the passer call against El Dorado as Parker Glaze is going to check in at right tackle for the Panthers offensively. That was a great catch, Terry, in traffic by Drake.
It sure was. And, Drake has really played well this year, and what a costly penalty for El Dorado. They had a good defensive stand there based on our starting the drive out or starting the play out, the first down with a penalty, and now the Panthers are sitting nice right at the red zone.
So 11 yards on the catch, add on 15 on the penalty, and Benton's got it in the red zone, first down. Set up a screen, and boy, that one was read very well by Bryson Bolden, the cornerback, as they tried to get it, Dio, to Elias Payne, and Bolden read it like a book.
Yeah, well, you can tell that they've done their film study this week. I mean, the defensive line did a really good job in, coming through there and forcing that throw maybe a little bit quicker than Woolbright wanted to get rid of it. El Dorado defense read that to a T.
Second down, Panthers at the Wildcat 20. Panthers moving toward the south end of the stadium as Woolbright faked to Russell, kept the football, and he's going to pick up 5 yards before he's tackled by Victor Livingston. At the 15, it'll be 3rd and 5, Benton.
Boy, El Dorado's really selling out against that run, aren't they? They've got, they're going to force us to go through the air, it looks like.
3rd down. Give to Braylon Russell. Rolling room toward the end zone. Lowers his shoulder, and it is a touchdown, Braylon Russell, on 3rd and 5. And he's in from 15 yards out as Benton got the edge that time. And Braylon delivered a blow going into the end zone, Dio.
Yeah, he didn't. All he needed was a little head of steam, and once he's got that, he's a load to bring down. I mean, you can see as he lowers his shoulder, you're not bringing him down unless you got him wrapped up well.
Confidence-building drive for Benton on the opening possession of the ball game. Lucas Wilbur's extra point is true, and with 8:55 to go in the first quarter, Benton has drawn first blood tonight here at the Palace. It's Benton 7 and El Dorado nothing. As if we can get Kaysen for a moment. Kaysen, that you couldn't have scripted a better opening drive for the Panther offense.
No, great drive. We had, I'm in shock that El Dorado right now is just playing zeros over the top. And if we can get some motions going with some pick plays, and Woolbright can throw it, and our receivers go up to get it like Drake does, it'll be a long night.
Terry, you were at Panther Live Tuesday. The themes were adversity and toughness. And I like what I see, the toughness of the offense on that opening drive.
Well, every good team coaches this. You're always going to hit adversity, whether it's a football game or life. The question is, how do you respond? And you and I were talking about that coming up the elevator. We were interested in how were the Panthers going to come out and respond to last week, and that's about as good as you could script it.
Great response to open the ball game. 8:55 to go in the first quarter. Benton leads at 7-0. By the way, it's 79 degrees, a very comfortable night after a brutally hot week. The wind is out of the east at 5 miles an hour, so it's a crosswind. Here's the stadium lays north and south. Lucas Wilbur's kickoff is going to go into the end zone, and that's going to force El Dorado to start at their own 20-yard line. Terry.
Yeah, one thing that we talk about Lucas Wilbur, and each week we talk about how much of a weapon it is to kick it off into the – and that's one of the things that I noticed about El Dorado. They don't have that big leg, and that sets up some really good returns on special teams for the Panthers. And with Lucas kicking the ball back, it's going to push that Wildcat defense all the way back every time.
Colin Parker is the El Dorado quarterback. He completes 54% of his passes for 433 yards, a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, eerily similar to Jack Woolbright. He throws on first down, and DeAndre Burns is going to make the catch and pick up 18 yards. Javion Parker on the tackle for the Panthers.
Yeah, deep ball that time. Javion had the coverage. He broke inside of him, and Javion got over there, made a big hit, Dio, at the very end, but gave him too much space.
Yeah, get too much cushion to start and just kept bailing out.
Handoff to Shadarius Plummer, and he's going to be tripped up after breaking a couple of tackles by Patrick Shipp at the 41, a gain of 3. But, boy, you can see the elusiveness of Shadarius Parker, Dio, on that run.
Well, that's what I was about to say. He actually had about a 15-yard run. It just gained 3 yards. So, but that's that's the deal is we're going to have to, if you get your paws on him, you're going to have to get him down to the ground.
Plummer motions. Parker's throw batted. And coming in, Walter Hicks got a paw on that one to bat it down. Let's set the Benton defense. Ian Alvarez and Peyton McNeely are the ends. Jake Herbner is the nose guard tonight. Walter Hicks, Jake Jones, and Chase Harding are your linebackers. The secondary is Pavarius Perkins and O'Marcus King. Patrick Shipp, J. Thomas Pepper, and Chris Bernard are the safeties. It is 3rd down and 7 for El Dorado. They converted the 35% clip on 3rd down on the season.
Yeah, Coach Wynn subbing in kind of a jumbo defense package. Patrick Shipp and Jay Thomas coming out. I have to look on here to see who that was that came in.
They're just going to give it to Shadarius Plummer. He's trying to get to the outside, and that's a great effort play by Chris Bernard to make a shoestring tackle at the 45, and that's going to leave El Dorado with 4th down and 3.
Yeah, that was a really good defensive play, and they sent a lot of eye candy there, and the Panthers didn't really bite it. They all stayed at home and were able to hold him to 4 yards. And I'll tell you this, anytime they can keep Plummer to 3 to 4 yards, I'm pretty happy.
They bring in their defensive tackle, Tacoy Stewart, at H-back here on 4th down and 3. El Dorado going to go for it. Shadarius Plummer takes a direct snap. He is very close to the 1st down. There is a pile, and they're going to say 1st down El Dorado. He needed 3. He got 4. They'll move the chains.
Yeah, when you saw Tacoy Stewart come in, I knew you knew what they were doing. The entire defense knew what they were doing. But stopping that big boy is he's a load to bring down.
That's 280 pounds at H-back on the 4th and short. El Dorado converts. And with a fresh set of downs, they're going to operate from an empty gun. Bad snap. Parker picks it up, and he's trying to make something out of nothing. Jake Herbner was the first one, or make that Walter Hicks to make contact at the Benton 49, a gain of 2.
Well, Chase Harding came in. Chase Harding's a big-bodied kid, and he moves pretty well, too. He's been in the last couple of plays. We're going to need a big body at linebacker right now.
Chase is 6 foot, 230-pound junior. Good shot of him there on the screen by our M&M Productions crew. 2nd down and 8 for El Dorado. So they put Burns in the backfield, give it to him. The speedster running wide, and a great open field tackle by Patrick Shipp for just 1 yard.
Boy, Patrick Shipp has really been playing some good football lately. That was a great open field tackle, and he was one-on-one too. That was a tackle that had to be made, Dio, and he performed.
Yeah, well, he did a good job. He kept his outside arm free. I mean, he did exactly what he's been taught to do at that. You got to take on the blocker, but you still have to turn that running back inside.
Panthers with 4 corners on the field is right out, and Javion Parker had substituted in. And Benton going to fall victim to a hard count, and that's going to give El Dorado 5 free yards. They'll move the football to the 43, and it'll be 3rd down and 2.
Have you noticed these different little packages that they're running in and out of the game? It's almost like we ran in a dime package.
Yes. Yeah, Coach Harris said you'd see 4 corners on the field tonight. We have in the opening possession is keeping the football to the 40 on the direct snap. That was Plummer carrying the football, and Shipp and Bernard on the tackle. But, again, they'll move the chains. 1st down Wildcats.
And El Dorado's playing that same game. That's Trey Cook coming in, the big defensive end that ran down Braylon Russell. Comes in to help block for the offense on 3rd and 3.
So Plummer going to flip it out to Burns. Burns is going to hurdle a man down, and there comes the flag. Unless that's changed, that's an offensive penalty, Dio.
It's a penalty, all right. It kind of stuns me, but at the high school level, it is a penalty. You can only jump over a player that is on the ground.
Yep, and Burns is shaking his head as he walks back. The El Dorado offense is in retreat. DeAndre Burns and Walker Davis will be teammates at Arkansas State next year. Both have committed to the Red Wolves.
That's a personal foul penalty?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hurdling a guy. So you would think if they want to lessen the amount of contact, they would encourage hurdling.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Well,
It is the strangest personal foul penalty in high school football for sure.
By far.
You know, the rule makers have changed a really beautiful sport.
Yeah, you could say that.
But that's a penalty that works to the Panthers' advantage, so we'll
does.
take
It
it
does.
right here, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Moves it all the way back to the 47, so it'll be 1st and 17 for El Dorado. Following the hurdling penalty, Ethan Midkiff has checked in at defensive end for the Panthers. Colin Parker throws, and he's got DeAndre Burns on the deep post in the red zone all the way down to the Benton 17 before Perkins made the tackle.
So that's the second time they've run that play, and what they're doing is they're keying it. Well, they're not going to show it because we're only going to see the quarterback, but they're drawing the cornerback's eyes. They're kind of running like a high-low, and that inner seam is going to be wide open because the cornerback's got to make a choice.
DeAndre Burns catches the flare, and he scores for El Dorado as he turned the Jets on the corner, got to the end zone from 17 yards out. And it is apparent to me, Terry, in the early going, DeAndre Burns is the go-to guy for El Dorado tonight.
Well, he certainly is now. Right now, you know, everybody came in watching Plummer, but you know they've got more than Plummer, and DeAndre Burns is playing very, very well to start this game off. And you know, Dio, we talked about some of the keys to the game, and one of them that we really didn't talk about was how much pressure the quarterback gets, because that's going to be open all night long. They've got the athletes on the outside. That's going to be open all night long unless we put some pressure on that quarterback.
Yeah, we're going to have to. Well, and our Spurs and Bandits are you know, kind of walk-up outside linebackers are going to have to start keying in on that. But, see, that's probably by design. They want those guys keying in on that, and then they'll switch it up. El Dorado, you know, but you just said it. They've got the athletes. They've got the athletes to really mix it up.
Panthers with a 10-play, 53-yard touchdown drive to open the ball game. El Dorado answers with a 12-play, 80-yard touchdown drive that took 4 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. So the offenses have been powerful to open this ball game. Defenses have been unable to halt the opposing offense, and we are knotted at 7 with 4:42 to go in the ball game tonight. Both teams 1 of 2 on third down conversions, and both were perfect, 1 of 1 on fourth down conversions on their drives. As Cooper Henry is going to tee it up and kick off this time for El Dorado. He's their punter, and he held on the PAT, and now we're going to see a change at kicker on the kickoff for El Dorado. As Henry approaches the ball, he kicks it high and short, and Elias Payne fields it at the 25, over the 30, 35, gets a seam, bounces it outside. Elias Payne's at midfield into El Dorado territory to the 46, and there's Elias, electrifying Elias Payne with a great return for the Panthers. Came in averaging 27 yards a return. And Terry, if you can start around midfield every time, you're in great shape, and that's where the Panthers are for their second possession.
Well, the Panther return team is going to give us that kind of position each time they kick off. That time Elias came down a little awkward, and so he came up hobbled a little bit. Hopefully he's okay.
First down, Panthers at the Wildcat 47. Give it to Braylon Russell, and Russell is going to be hog-collared by Tacoy Stewart for a gain of just 1. Braylon with 21 yards on 6 carries here in the first quarter.
Well, yeah, they are really stacking the box. I mean, they're really only playing it with the 4-2 front, but.
So the Panthers go to the play action and get Drake Womack in the secondary, and Drake hauls it in down around the El Dorado 32-yard line. Jordan Ford on the tackle, but that's good for a Panther first down, 14 yards.
Well, Kaysen called it. He said that, boy, quick snap.
And Russell with a stiff arm takes 4 Wildcats to bring him down inside the 10, down to the 7, but we've got a marker at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, guys, I looked down and I looked up and we'd snap the ball.
Turbo speed, but the play is coming back. A hold on the outside against Benton is going to nullify that run by Braylon Russell.
Well, I'm glad the play action on the play before worked. Who'd they call it on there?
I think they called it on Elias.
It looks like it. But that play action's good because if that will hold the linebackers at bay for just that half second longer, have them thinking, is this a play action? That's good to kind of loosen up those running lanes.
First down and 15 following the penalty. Fake to Braylon Russell. Set up the screen to Braylon. Braylon is going to be hit and pulls a couple of Wildcats down to the 33-yard line. First contact that time was by Bryson Bolden. Gain of 4.
Yeah, that was a good job by Bryson Bolden, and that's a guy that we're going to see a lot of tonight. They've got him isolated on Elias.
Back to the ground with Braylon running right. And Braylon powers his way down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 9. That's going to leave Benton with 3rd down and a long 2.
Yeah, the Panthers going warp speed right now.
I kind of agree with that. 2 warp speed. I like the warp speed, though. I like going fast. I think that's how Coach Ray gets his offense in a rhythm. And it actually, you can tell, it kind of helps the run game out because it seems like the defense isn't really getting able to get fully set before the ball's snapped.
Yeah, I somewhat agree with that. It just that we've got to be able to get a snap off without, a penalty.
So 3rd down and 7. Panthers 1 of 2 on 3rd down in the game. Thus far, it's 3rd and 7 Panthers at the El Dorado 30-yard line. Logan Owen is going to motion from the far side all the way across the formation. They fake, and now we've got a stoppage of play, and Brad Harris called a timeout, and he's going to summon over the offense. First Security Bank is Arkansas-owned and Arkansas-focused with better service, better solutions, and better support. With better ways to build a life, buy a home, or run a business, you can bank better with First Security. Learn more at fsbank.com. Kaysen, want to bring you in. A big 3rd down facing the Panthers right here, but the offense has been impressive in this first quarter.
Yeah, they've been impressive. Just those Freddie, like you said, some of those little small stupid mistakes. We go from a 3rd and 2 to a 3rd and 8 right here. And then on that screen earlier, just our O-line just goes out and blocks nobody. So just a couple small things we got to pick up, but we'll see.
Everything correctable though, right?
Sorry, that's right.
Yeah, Tanner Holden is your right guard. Parker Glaze your right tackle. Walker Davis and Elijah Harris on the left side. Carter Sanders prepares to snap it as Maddox Davis goes in motion. Woolbright fakes, drops back, sets up a screen to Braylon Russell, and Tacoy Stewart is going to come over from his nose guard spot and dump Braylon for a loss back to the 32-yard line, and Benton's going to face a 4th and 10.
Well, and that right there, your playbook gets limited a little bit when you do go from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7. Because of a penalty, that makes it a little bit tougher. But I just personally don't get the screen call right there when they've been eating up the screen all night.
Lucas Wilbur on to try a 49-yard field goal. Perfect snap, the hold, the kick. It's got the distance. It is good. Lucas Wilbur drills it from 49 yards. And the Panthers go up 10-7 with 1:46 to go in the first quarter.
Wow.
I
don't know that I've ever seen a kid kick a 49-yard field goal in high school, in person. Just not something
big field goal.
Well, Lake Hamilton. I've seen Lake Hamilton's kicker do it.
Lucas playing a little inspired tonight.
But that's pretty good.
That's a soccer program coming through for the football program, right?
Yeah. Just just don't tell El Dorado because they got some pretty good kids down there.
No doubt. 10-7. Benton leads it after Lucas Wilbur's 49-yard field goal. Put a star by that one.
Somebody call Coach Pittman and get that kid a Scully. I mean, if you can kick If you can kick a 49-yard field goal through the uprights, that's pretty good in high school.
Well, I don't know. Watching the Catholic replay, the ball that hit the upright it hit at the top of the upright.
Yeah.
Rob shaking his head in agreement. I mean, that was a 39-yard field goal that had more than enough
Yeah,
distance.
that was easily 50 yards in distance.
Yeah, so we got a weapon right there in Lucas Wilbur, the senior place kicker, and he is going to kick off following the 49-yard field goal. And he is going to drill that one into the end zone. Boy, anytime you don't let DeAndre Burns get a return, that's a win.
That's a total win. I mean, making El Dorado go the length of the field. Now the defense really does need to step up, but I think we're gonna be appreciative for that field goal come fourth quarter. I really do. I think this is going to be one of those games,
one of those possession games.
That's a little bit of a track meet to a certain extent, because I just don't know that the matchup is really great for either team as far as stopping, the opposing offense.
The scoring drive was 8 plays, just 15 yards in 2 minutes 48 seconds, but it resulted in points as El Dorado on the draw hands it off to Plummer, and Plummer is going to be tackled by Jake Jones, the middle linebacker, leading the way that time.
Well, the one thing that I was really hopeful for, and so far we've seen it, is that when Plummer has the ball, that he has to earn every yard he gets, and the Panthers are really putting pressure on him.
2nd down and 6 for El Dorado at the 24. Parker takes a snap, hands it off to Plummer again, running right, and Walter Hicks is going to come up and drag him back. They're going to give him the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats.
Well, I would tell you, Walter Hicks playing like a man possessed down there.
Yeah, that was a big down right there.
Walter had 9 tackles last week at Catholic. Of course, he was our HBA Construction Player of the Game against Sylvan Hills. So he had a scoop and score and also recorded a safety. 3rd down and 5 for the Wildcats as Parker takes a snap, an empty gun. He's going deep. He has a man, and it's through the hands of his intended receiver, Jacoby Montgomery, who had gotten behind Pervarius Perkins.
Wow, we got lucky on that one.
There's a little karma there too. He got away with a push off to separate himself from the defender, and
that's what threw his timing off.
Drop the ball.
Shouldn't have pushed.
So 4th down, El Dorado leaves their offense on the field, but Colin Parker will punt it. He averages 34 yards a punt, and that's exactly what happens as the quarterback in that short snap formation punts it. Burns will down it at the 35-yard line.
That's a win, boys.
No doubt. 3 and out.
Let's go down to Case, and I'm curious because I feel like as a former QB, he can kind of talk about how it feels to go out there. You just scored. Your defense just stopped him. What's the quarterback thinking right now, Mertens?
What I'm thinking, if I was out there, is, again, like I said, the key to victory is one play at a time. One play at a time. Let's get to the sticks, and let's just continue to be consistent.
So the 1st down give is to Braylon Russell, patiently coming to the right and then puts his foot in the turf, cuts south, and picks up 8 yards.
Klein Hooten coming into the game at the quarterback position.
Yeah, it's a good catch, Dio. Klein is in there. Go back to Russell running right. Boy, Braylon is not running like a guy who had a little stomach bug earlier today as he picks up 8 more.
Well, that's a strong run right there. Panthers just two times on the ground, about 14 yards. I mean, you can't ask for a better start to this drive.
9 runs, 46 yards for Braylon in that first quarter. That comes to a close with Benton leading 10-7 over El Dorado. We'll take a break and come back with the second quarter of Benton Panther football on the Benton Football Network.
Congo Fireplace and Patio has been Benton's go-to place for all your hearth needs since 1920. Stop by now and see over 20 live burning displays. With the South's largest selection of gas logs, gas inserts, and wood-burning stoves, Congo has what you need to heat your home this winter. Get any accessory you need for your fireplace and stove in one place. Plus, see the largest selection of pellet stoves. With over 90 years of combined sales and service, there's no other place to shop.
Jones Heating and Air, located at 520 Edison Avenue in Benton, specializes in residential, commercial, and new construction HVAC systems and offers 24-hour service. Jones is a proud supporter of Benton Panther Athletics, the Saline County Boys and Girls Club, and youth sports at Benton's Riverside Park. Find out more at jonesheatingandair.com or call 501-778-3324.
Klein Hooten is your Benton quarterback, a 6'3", 190-pound junior who played outstanding Monday night in that abbreviated JV game. He's going to throw it out to Maddox Davis, who makes a great one-handed catch, turns upfield, and is going to pick up yardage to the El Dorado 45.
Yeah, as Maddox's dad sits right below us in the press box, I know he's proud to see him turn it north and south and get some yards, not worry about trying to. Yep, Logan Owen going to do the same thing, going with that quick passing game, and the receiver's doing a great job of turning it north and south and getting yardage.
10 yards to Logan Owen. It's Klein Hooten now 2 of 2 passing. It's first down, Benton at the El Dorado 35. Panthers again, turbo speed, handoff to Chris Bernard. And I tell you, Tacoy Stewart is not a guy I want to run into. That big 280-pound defensive tackle for El Dorado just swallowed Bernard.
Yeah. That's a big young man. He takes up about 2 positions on that line of scrimmage.
I guarantee he does.
Came in with 6 tackles for loss on the season. Adds to that total there as Chris Bernard dropped for a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12, Benton at the El Dorado 37. Hooten takes the snap. There's a bobble in the backfield as Benton able, fortunately, to fall on it. I believe Hooten able to recover the fumble back at the 40. So it's going to be 3rd and 15.
I don't know what happened there. That was a really strange.
It was a high snap, and he didn't get it down to the running back in time, and just bobbled it.
Yep.
3rd down and 15, and El Dorado jumps.
El Dorado gave us 5 of it back.
As Trey Cook jumped off sides. Matt Beck in the house tonight, and he sees Klein Hooten do his best Nate Beck imitation. Gets El Dorado to jump, makes it 3rd down and 10, Benton at the Wildcat 35. Hooten looking left, throwing left, wide of Drake Womack, incomplete, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, Hooten really didn't have any place to go with that ball. Womack had the outside, but he was covered up.
O-line did a good job of giving time, though. Klein Hooten able to step up into the pocket as the tackle did a good job of forming a pocket.
So Panthers going to go for it on 4th down and 10. Davis, Womack, and Owen split wide left. Elias Payne, the lone receiver, to the far side of the field. Hooten takes the snap. He's looking for Payne, throwing for Payne, and it is going to be incomplete as Bolden in coverage for El Dorado. I believe he got a hand on it, deflected it away, Dio, and El Dorado holds.
Well, Klein Hooten threw a pretty good pass. I mean, it was about the only place you could really put it, but the job by the defensive back to stay over the top of that was a fantastic job.
Well, that's the matchup of the night, fellas. Bolden and Elias Payne, that's the matchup of the night. If Bolden cannot hold him, Elias Payne is going to have a monster night.
So here is El Dorado taking over with 10:24 to go in the first half. Benton leading 10-7. And Colin Parker is going to drop back. He's going to be flushed. He's going to run. Jake Herbner is going to bring him down after a 3-yard gain. We talked about Jake Herbner being sort of a Mel Hegwood type. That's a Mel Hegwood type play right there. The nose man coming from behind Dio to make the tackle.
Great pursuit.
Well, they got Shadarius Plummer in at quarterback. They just took out Parker.
And Plummer on the direct snap is going to run left. He's eluding Panther tacklers, and then the pack arrives and pulls him down at the 42. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, it's not going to make Coach Harris very happy. There was about 3 missed tackles on that run.
Alvarez.
I mean, can you blame him, though? Did you see?
Oh, absolutely not.
The
I mean,
lateral
3
movement.
missed tackles and still only 3 yards.
Yeah.
Ethan Midkiff checks in at defensive end. Parker back in at quarterback, takes a snap, gives it. No, he fakes to Plummer, keeps, and he's going to have the first down as Ship is going to bring him down at the 47. And that'll move the chains. First down, El Dorado.
Yeah, it was a good shifty move there, and a nice tackle by Patrick Ship coming in and laying a lick.
El Dorado subbing out their quarterback again, putting the running back at kind of that Wildcat formation.
And this is the play that burned Benton for a touchdown earlier as they flip it out to Burns. And Burns is going to be tripped up by Ship and Jones at the Panther 46-yard line, a gain of 7 at 2nd and 3.
Well, they're going to leave that package out there. I mean, honestly, that gives you that +1 in the backfield when your quarterback is your starting running back normally.
And the running back is your fastest player as they fake to him. Plummer's going to keep running left, makes a cut, and he's going to have the first down. Ball came free, and the Panthers come up with it as Chase Harding made the tackle, forced the fumble, and coming up with it for Benton was Chris Bernard.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, that was a fortuitous fumble.
Yes, it was.
Because it seemed like El Dorado had a little rhythm, and they had figured out something with that combination of Shadarius Plummer and DeAndre Burns in the backfield together. So thankful to get that back. Now, let's see if our offense can not repeat what we did on the last series and get a little momentum here.
Yeah, you're spot on, Dio, about it being very fortunate for the Panthers, not just because of the turnover, but because of what it allows the defense to come to the sidelines and do.
Yeah.
Panthers again with really good field position at the 40-yard line as Klein Hooten's going to throw to Drake Womack, and Womack makes the catch. Jordan Ford with a big hit for El Dorado defensively, but that's good for 6 yards.
That's off to Drake Womack for holding on to that ball because he came into the middle and he took the punishment you take when you catch a ball in the middle.
Yeah, he took a shot.
Panther quarterbacks 9 of 11 passing in this first half as they go back to the ground with Braylon Russell, and he's doing everything he can to get back to the line of scrimmage. Stewart blew up the play. Trey Cook finally makes the tackle, and it's going to be 3rd and a long 4 for Benton.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that Trey Cook he's eating our lunch over there on that end, and Tacoy Stewart is not hurting things either for El Dorado.
Well, listen, this is a very good football team we're lined up against.
Josiah Crosby checks in at end for this 3rd down play as they swing it out to Braylon Russell. First down and more. Boy, Braylon got a head of steam on the edge, and look out as he gets it to the El Dorado 42.
Well, and you'll notice right here, well, you can't hardly see it, but they loaded the box. They had 8 men in the defensive box right there, crowded all around the line of scrimmage. So getting Braylon on the edge is a smart move by Coach Ray.
First down and 10 at the 42, and the Panthers with 2 men in motion going to be hit with a false start penalty and back them up 5 yards.
Boy, oh boy.
Mertens was right. Can't hit yourself with stupid penalties.
Yeah.
Now, Freddie told me coming over this afternoon, we cannot shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
We cannot shoot ourselves in the foot. And those first down penalties that put you behind the sticks like this, tough. First and 15.
Touchdown right here. Touchdown right here. Calling it.
All right, Kaysen, here we go. Hooten fakes. Throws for Elias Payne. Boy, Kaysen, if you would have caught that, it might have been 6. I don't know if he was trying to get it, Kaysen, to you or to Elias right there.
I think he heard me. I think he heard me over here. I think I was playing receiver for a second.
Well, you're going to have to improve on your Nostradamus game because the former sideline reporter made some pretty good Nostradamus-like calls over the years. That's why I got promoted to the booth, Kaysen.
Okay. Well, maybe I can get promotion one day.
Hey, here we go. You were 1 play off.
Braylon Russell down to the 10-yard line. It's a touchdown-saving tackle by LaVictor Livingston. Hey, it didn't get us 6, but it gets us in the red zone. First down and goal, Benton at the 10. Panthers hurry to the line. Back to Braylon, running right. and he's going to be down to the 6-yard line, a gain of 4.
Boy, this tempo, you barely can catch your breath before they're snapping the ball. But I like it, Dio. I'm like you. I like it.
We don't have to talk as much as far as our job goes.
Back to Braylon running right. He's going to pick up one very, very tough yard. 88 yards on 13 carries for Braylon in this first half. And Benton has it 3rd down and goal at the 5.
I was about to say, I feel like Braylon's probably a little tired on this drive. They may ought to try to throw it to the edge or something.
See what Justin Ray dials up. They go back to Braylon running right, and he is going to carry some Wildcats down to the 3. Gain of 2, and it's 4th down and goal, Benton at the 3.
Well, you're also seeing now Braylon getting up a little slow, but, I mean, I don't blame him. He's carried about half of the El Dorado team.
Yeah.
About 60 yards this half, and looks like the Panthers are going to line up for a field goal. And
Cole Tanner will snap. Logan Owen will hold. Lucas Wilbur, who has a 49-yarder already, going to try from 20. He's got plenty of distance, and it is good. With 5:30 to go in the first half, Lucas Wilbur with back-to-back field goals, and that's the difference. Benton leads at 13-7 over El Dorado. Let's take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with Benton Panther football.
You ready for this? Home field advantage is such a huge deal in football, and I think it's a huge deal in the mortgage world too. That's why, you know, we're a local company. We have in-house processing and underwriting, and that enables me to make sure that my customers have a great experience from kickoff to the closing table. That's just what we want to do, is give them a great experience.
With Cornerstone Home Lending, you'll always have the home field advantage. Text DIO to 36260 to get started today.
Folks, the City of Benton invites you to mark your calendars for Saturday, October 22 for the Fall for October event at Sunset Lake. It's an outdoor event from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. filled with educational activities and hands-on fun for kids and families. Get outdoors in October with the City of Benton at Sunset Lake. And as we were coming back from the break, Dio, you said Lucas Wilbur is quite the weapon for this Benton Panther team.
Man, I'm going to tell you, in high school, that's what, you know, you watch it in the NFL, kicker decides a lot of games. College, same thing. It would be the same thing in high school if every team had, you know, really good kickers. But having Lucas Wilbur, I mean, he's worth 6 points so far today, or, well, 7 points, I guess, total with the extra point. But that comes in huge later in the game. What's the delay here? We don't have TV timeouts. I mean, I know we're big time, but.
Another thing about that last field goal, that's a hard field goal to hit.
At angle.
Yes,
Yes.
That's a hard field goal to hit. I would almost rather have to kick a 49-yard field goal than to kick the one he just did.
A good point, Terry. Is Lucas going to kick off? He puts his foot into it. Kind of a top spin there that's fielded by DeAndre Burns at the 6. He's got a seam, and there goes DeAndre Burns' speed. And that's why you don't want to kick it to him, as DeAndre Burns is going to return that one 94 yards for an El Dorado touchdown. And just like that, the Wildcats have tied it with 5:16 to go in the first half on a 94-yard touchdown return by DeAndre Burns.
All it takes is for one guy to get out of line and not stay home.
Yep.
And that's all it takes. And when you got that kind of speed, and it's hard.
So Javier Rivas on for the PAT. Cooper Henry will hold. Andrew Clausen is the snapper. And like Lucas Wilbur, Rivas a left footer. Snap down, hold good, kick good as the El Dorado band plays Happy Days Are Here Again. And the folks in purple are happy as El Dorado has taken a 14-13 lead with 5:16 to go in the first half. Boy, special teams tonight have been a difference maker for both sides.
Yeah, for both teams. And now they got to kick off to us, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we return the favor.
Yeah.
Well, you got a guy in the last pane who can do it. That's a great shot of the full house here on the home side tonight. And you see those Panther flags supplied by the Touchdown Club flying over the bleachers. Boy, the new scoreboard, new video board. The Palace looks splendid tonight.
Home sweet home.
One of these days, we're going to get Nethery to dome this sucker so we can have climate-controlled football all the time. I'll say that'd get pretty costly.
Maybe Cornerstone Home Lending could write the check for that, huh?
That's a pretty big check. I think we need a new basketball arena before we need a new stadium. I think we're set on the stadium for a while. Excited about basketball season.
Yes.
It's going to be a fun year to watch.
Well, and speaking of other sports, Heidi Cox and some of the softballers are going to join us at halftime. Back-to-back undefeated state championships.
Well, and Heidi's son, Ryder, who is a sixth grader, be our starting quarterback tomorrow in the PDFL game against Sheridan. So Benton got a really good all-sports program all across the board, boys and girls sports.
Kickoff fielded by Elias Payne. And here's Elias trying to return the favor. And another great return. I tell you, it doesn't go for 6. But Benton is consistently starting Dio right around midfield, and you can't minimize the value of that.
No, that's huge. I mean, 30 extra yards of field position is massive because it does enable you to do things like kick a 49-yard field goal if you're only able to move the sticks once or twice. You've got a kicker that can get some points on the board for you. Just gives you a shorter field to work with.
Now, there is a flag on the El Dorado side of the hash at the 48-yard line. And we are going to get a dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct against El Dorado. So add 15 yards to that, and Benton's going to start on the El Dorado side of the 50. As something after the play, Terry, I didn't see it, but boy, Benton going to be the beneficiary as that's going to move it all the way to the Wildcat 38.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but both teams seem to be intent on helping the other right now, and I think both coaches are going to go into the locker room with a priority to get that cleaned up.
Chris Bernard is in the backfield for Benton. Jack Woolbright back at quarterback, and there's Chris with a good hard run down to the 35-yard line. Pickup of 3, and it'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, it's a good hard run that time.
Braylon Russell gets a breather. 2nd down again. Give it off to Bernard. There's the speed as he split the safeties. Chris Bernard to the end zone from 35 yards. And Benton has regained the lead at 19-14 with 4:42 in the half.
Boy, what a run. I mean, Chris Bernard coming in saying, hey, hand me the rock, coach. Watch this.
Yeah, that's part of the problem with zero safety. Well, once you break the linebackers, there's nobody there.
Wilbur on to attempt the extra point. Following the 35-yard touchdown run by Bernard, Wilbur, a line drive that snuck through. Wow. So Benton goes up 20-14 as the cannon fires, and the ROTC going to do their push-ups. As we go back down to Kaysen, boy, Chris Bernard with an impressive run right there, Kaysen.
Yeah, great run. Great blocking by the O-line to open up that gap. But just like Terry said, that's why I don't understand a zero high. It's because when you pass the second level, I mean, there's nobody there. So great run by Chris. Offense is looking good. So.
And running behind Carter Sanders, who was our HBA Construction Player of the Game last week. And I know Coach Harris has just bragged about how he has grown up at center, grown up as a leader. And Panthers content to run behind him, even though he's blocking Tacoy Stewart on the other side.
Yeah, and he's got a big assignment tonight. I mean, there's no two ways about it. He's going to win some of those, and he's going to lose some of those. But the key to being that leader on the line of scrimmage is being able to play the next play.
Yeah.
So the Panthers, we wondered about the toughness in the face of adversity. they've answered tonight in this first half.
Yeah, they have not let up whatsoever. Very businesslike demeanor out of both sides of the ball, offense and defense. So now let's see if we can kick it into the end zone.
Well, Tate Sparks is going to get a chance. Is a new kicker, and Tate Sparks, the kickoff specialist, going to kick it high and kick it short. El Dorado is going to call for a fair catch and make it at the 30-yard line as Jacoby Montgomery caught that one, and I would say smart move by Brad Harris.
Yeah.
We'll give you the 30. We're not going to give you 94 again.
Yeah. Well, something's going on with Lucas Wilbur because you can tell he usually kicks it into the end zone. So he had that one short kick, and then he had the little line driver right there. So I don't know if he's got something wrong with his foot or.
I think the line driver may have been a bad hold.
Well, and it could have been a bad hold, and it also looked like somebody may have gotten in there to tip it.
Could have been.
So El Dorado takes over first down, and Colin Parker going deep. DeAndre Burns makes the catch, and it is going to go for 6. That's 70 yards. Colin Parker to DeAndre Burns, and boy, you're just going to have to find somebody that can keep up with him, and it may not be possible. I mean, he is the state champion 100-meter dash.
Well, look, it's not possible. There's nobody in a Benton Panther uniform that has the speed to keep up with him. There's only one way that you can defend that, and that is to get to that quarterback. And we're not doing it right now, and they're going to sit back in that pocket and chunk the ball all over the field unless we can get some pressure on that quarterback.
Rivas's extra point is up, and it is good, and El Dorado has regained the lead in a seesaw second quarter. It's Wildcats 21, Benton 20, with 4:32 to go in the first half. Kaysen, you're getting a ground level view of this thing. Terry says pressure in the quarterback is what the PDC needs to do.
I would agree with him. We gotta get pressure, man. I told Herbert, I said, man, you gotta get back there. And he's just sitting back there like Tom Brady and just throwing up to these receivers that are a lot faster than our DBs right now. So something's got to happen on defensive end. Guys got to step it up. Let's go, baby.
Dio, you're the defensive guy. How do you get that pressure?
Well, I'm sure coaches. I mean, that's the thing. It's easy to sit here and be the press box coach and make a call. But I'm sure he's stunting and twisting and doing all kinds of stuff. I don't have an answer for that. Maybe mix in some blitzes that they haven't seen or practiced. I'm not sure. Maybe flip the cornerbacks over to a little bit more of a man press to hold the receivers up at the line of scrimmage for a half second longer to give your defensive line time to get in the backfield.
And it is a big El Dorado line that averages 275.
Yeah, they're big.
So,
and they're quick too. Both offense and defensive lines for El Dorado are very quick.
So 21-20, El Dorado regains the lead.
Crazy game.
As Rivas is going to kick off, and El Dorado had a couple of guys get a head start, and they're going to have to kick this one from the 35.
Boy, that was the best kickoff they've had the entire game.
It's a great kickoff.
They may be going down the roster saying who can get the ball deeper than the 20.
Want to say hello, our weekly hello to Benji White. He's down at the cabin tonight getting ready for some bow hunting. So,
is that open this weekend?
Yes.
Guess. Or is it just prep work? I saw a couple of people with their four-wheelers in their stands in the back of their pickup, so I figure it must be. It's either this weekend or next.
Bunch of duck hunters. What do you know about deer season, Ryan?
I don't know a bunch about it.
So Cooper Henry, they're going to replace the kicker after a false start on the kick team. Rivas checks out. Henry checks in. And he's going to hit a line drive out of bounds. I'd back him up 5 more. Unless, Benton offense says, no, we're tired of fooling around. We want the football.
I'd back him up again.
Yeah, I'd make
just
him
to
kick
prove
it
a
again.
point. Just to prove a point.
I'm with you. I'd make him kick it.
I'd rather have Elias get a shot at a return, to be honest with you, but I don't think they want to kick it to him.
Looks like Jack is going to come back out. They're
And-
starting quarterback.
And Donovan Pearson is in the huddle as well.
Ah.
So it's good to see
My
number
God.
3.
Yeah.
And Donovan's going to line up at running back here to the left
Excited to see him back.
of Jack Woolbright. Donovan in the sidecar. Fakes to Donovan, throws out to Maddox Davis, gets a good block on the edge, and there goes Maddox up the Benton sideline, going to be pushed out of bounds near the 20. They're going to mark him out at the 23-yard line. Big, explosive play for the Benton offense, Dio.
Boy, Jack Woolbright did a good job putting it on the front shoulder, and I know Maddox was kind of turned around expecting it on his back shoulder, but that actually propelled him forward, being able to kind of turn and catch it to his front. Great blocking by Logan Owen again. That's a great extension of your run game.
And El Dorado's defensive coordinator, Wes Abels, is going to call a timeout. As the El Dorado defense going to go over and regroup following that big 34-yard pitch and catch from Woolbright to Maddox Davis. Maddox with 3 catches for 46 yards in this first half. Guys, Jack Woolbright is 6 of 7, Terry, passing for 68 yards. That's Sylvan Hills-like numbers for Jack tonight.
Yeah, Jack is doing a good job, and he's just distributing the ball where the ball can be distributed, and doing a really good job of managing the game. And, man, how about Maddox? I mean, that guy is really turning on, and just a sophomore. I mean, we've got a few more years to watch him, and, man, he's a real weapon.
Weapon on his football team, a weapon for Mark Ballesteri's golf team as well.
Hey, this crew, you got Elias Payne.
Yes.
Who shot, I think he was
72.
72, so he shot par. All 3 of those guys, him, Paxton, and Maddox, they can all 3 beat me.
Talented group. 1st and 10, Benton at the 23. Maddox going to go in motion. Going to hand it off to Donovan Pearson. And nothing doing that time in the center of the line as Donovan fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of places to run that time, and Donovan got hit as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, and really got stood up hard by Camilio Johnson.
Chris Bernard is going to check back in at running back for Benton. They give it to Bernard, running hard to the left. And Bernard delivers a blow to Jordan Ford at the 17-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4 for the Panthers with 3:40 to go in the first half. Panthers trailing by 1, but knocking on the door. There's a give to Bernard. Spins away from the first tackle. Can't break the second one, and it is going to be 4th and a long one at the 15.
You don't find too many kids that seek contact quite as much as Bernard does. Man, he really likes to go after contact.
4th down, they put Braylon Russell back in, guys. 4th down and 2, and now a timeout going to be called by Braylon Harris. Terry, I know you wanted to chime in there on Bernard seeking contact.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why you put him at free safety. I mean, everybody knows that Bernard is really an offensive weapon. I mean, he's a guy that can get you yards, but he seeks contact, and that's why he's on the defensive side of the ball most of the time.
Kaysen, you want to weigh in? 4th down and short right here?
I think they're going heavy here. So looks like we're going downhill. But I just want to chime in on that Maddox run. Man, Logan Owen is an animal outside receiver for as far as the blocking goes. So.
Man, I appreciate you pointing that out, because that's often, the unsung part of this, Terry, is
exactly
the blocking of the receivers in that short pass game.
And big-time team ball, too. Senior laying that key block for the sophomore receiver for the outside.
So Jake Jones is in at running back. Braylon Russell going to take the direct snap, run right, back to the left. He's got the first down near the 10-yard line. A lot of blows being delivered by Braylon by the Wildcat defense, but it's going to be 1st and goal Panthers at the 10.
Man, Braylon's so impressive to watch, and watch how he lowers his head and just moves the pile.
That was Curtis Jefferson, their leading tackler and middle linebacker that he took on.
And I promise you, he didn't want about 4 or 5 of those.
Well, I guarantee you he ain't seen a hole that big all night.
Oh, man, knifing into Coy Stewart. That's 280 pounds of athlete that came back there and dumped Russell for a 4-yard loss.
I'll tell you on this defense, you know, I mean, he's a presence. There's no doubt about it on film. But on defense tonight, he's the guy that is really standing out on their defense.
Yeah. Very impressive. So the Panthers go back to the conventional formation here. 2 receivers to each side on 2nd and goal from the 14. Russell in the sidecar to Woolbright's right. Motion Davis setting up the screen, and it's going to be tapped, and the closest one to it was Walker Davis.
How great would that have been if he could have got his paws on it
Moment of
after
glory.
the tip? It's legal, right?
Yes.
So he could have caught that and ran it in. That would have been a great trick play that was unintentional.
There was no Wildcat out there. If Walker
Davis will see that ball in the air for the next 20 years.
So 3rd and goal, Benton at the 14. Snap clock at 5. Benton still trying to get settled on the play here. They finally do with 1 second. Woolbright throwing for Womack. Leaping catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers.
What a catch by Womack to elevate like that and to come down with it. Concentration that takes. I can't wait to see this on the replay.
Wow.
What a catch by Drake Womack.
Beautifully thrown ball.
I mean, that was fantastic. Defender right in his face, went up and focused on the ball. That was an excellent job. Excellent throw, excellent catch.
Well, that's a good hold, too, by Logan Owen that time. As the snap was low, Owen got it down. Wilbur drilled it.
Having some problems with the cannon.
Cannon misfire?
We're having a cannon issue. There it
went.
goes. There it goes. I've liked the addition of the cannon. Ours is a much more respectable size than the old Jacksonville cannon.
Well, and you've got the cannon at El Dorado, too.
Oh,
remember, Dio? I was afraid we were going to have to get the AED on you the first year we were down there and they fired that thing.
Between Jacksonville and El Dorado, I've got some PTSD from these cannons after touchdowns.
27-21. That was an 8-play, 57-yard drive by the Panthers. It took 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And Drake Womack with his 4th catch of the first half.
He's a kid that's been underutilized in his career at Benton, primarily because he really last year just kind of finally learned the offense as a move-in. And then this year, you know, he stays under the radar. But, man, that kid can play football. I think that as the season goes on, we're going to be calling his name a lot more frequently.
Yeah, his touchdown ratio last year was high. He didn't catch a lot of passes, but he caught big passes.
Yeah.
And he's physical.
He really is physical. He's a great blocker.
Lucas Wilbur back to kick off for Benton. And it is a very high short kick that is going to be fair caught by Jacoby Montgomery at the 25-yard line. So I think Brad Harris has just decided we're not going to see DeAndre Burns return a kick again tonight, Terry.
No.
I don't want the ball in his hands.
I don't want the ball in his hands now.
I'm curious to see if El Dorado comes back and does their, traditional formation with the quarterback, Colin Parker, or if they're going to come out and do the combination of Plummer and Burns in the backfield.
So it looks like Parker will be at quarterback for El Dorado. Plummer will be the running back. It's a pistol set. Now he brings Plummer up to his right hip. Parker takes the snap. He's flushed out of the pocket this time. There's some pressure from the Benton defense, and they get him down in the backfield as Herbner and McNeely combine to sack him for a 5-yard loss. Terry, there's the pressure you need.
That's what we've been needing the whole night. That's excellent.
But
great pressure.
You know who gets the credit for that is Patrick Shipp, doing a fantastic job covering DeAndre Burns there. He was running a little dig route, but Ship was literally right on him, and the quarterback had to eat the ball.
Hicks in a stand-up position at nose comes through unabated for the sack, and Brad Harris has made the adjustment. That's back-to-back sacks for the PDC.
That's awesome. That's what we kind of saw on film in the Marion game when Marion was applying a lot of pressure. I think he got sacked 4 or 5 times in that game and actually threw an interception. And so this is what the Panthers have got to do. They got to give that pressure and force him into a bad decision.
3rd and 23 for El Dorado following the back-to-back sacks. Parker drops back, this time throws underneath to Jacoby Montgomery, who's tackled in the open field by Chris Bernard. That'll be 4th down. Brad Harris immediately takes a timeout with 56 seconds to go.
Great play. Chris Bernard getting in the process of getting blocked and able to fight his way through that, make the tackle. That was a phenomenal job. And I'm glad the quarterback didn't have much time because DeAndre Burns was wide open 30 yards down the field.
Yeah, you talked about, well, it has to do with the pressure. When you're under pressure, you can't see everybody like you should. And you talked about getting that tackle, being able to be lined up man-to-man and making that important tackle. And that's what Chris Bernard just did.
Yeah.
So it's 4th down and 18 for El Dorado at their own 17-yard line. That's a huge 3-and-out for the PDC here at the end of the first half, with Benton leading 27-21 and an opportunity to get the football back.
Well, and you know Harris wants to score here because El Dorado's going to start the second half with the ball. You can steal a possession here and get a score. Even if it's just 3 points, that gives you a little bit of leg, makes it a 2-score game.
So with Colin Parker, the quarterback, the punter, Benton doesn't put anybody back, and it's blocked. He punted it right into the back of the lineman, and it goes out of bounds, and Benton's going to have it at the 18.
That's what I'm talking about right there, Terry. That's the kind of thing that, they say, what is it, that luck happens when combined with hard work or so. I can't even think of the phrase. I'm so pumped right now. But that was all about Herbner right there.
Yep.
Getting the push on that guy.
That's exactly right. Getting that push on the line of scrimmage and pushing him into the path of the punt.
And I'm going to be honest. In an obvious punt situation, why don't you just go back 15 yards and punt it? Punted it right into the back of his lineman, who was pressured by Jake Herbner, and Benton's going to take the gift at the 18. Swing it out to Maddox Davis, who's going to throw it back to Jack Woolbright, who has a convoy to the end zone. Touchdown Panthers. Touchdown Benton as they go razzle-dazzle. Big play, 18 yards on the double pass. Woolbright to Davis, back to Woolbright, and Benton goes up by 12.
You got to love these situational plays. They're the best. You dial those up for exactly the occasions like this, and a great job by Elias. He had the guy so blocked, he gave up. He quit.
Threw in the towel at the 5-yard line. Lucas Wilbur's extra point is good, but a flag, and it's going to back Benton up. Offside's El Dorado, so they'll move it up 1.5 yards.
You know, that last play call was like a Scott Nethery play call. All of a sudden something bad happens, and you know what Coach Nethery was doing. He was going for the end zone the next play.
Oh, Kaysen can tell you about that. Kaysen knows. He knew what was coming. He was going deep to somebody after an interception or a fumble recovery.
Guaranteed, that's a perfect play call right there, and these boys are fired up on the sideline.
Snap, hold, kick by Lucas Wilbur is good. And with 43 seconds to go in the first half, Benton goes up 34-21. Back-to-back scores. Terry, it's the pressure on the quarterback, though, that you were calling for that made all the difference on that last possession.
Well, he had proven on film that once he was under pressure that he was prone. I mean, this is a guy that comes into the game averaging at least 1 interception per game. And that was because of the pressure that was getting on him. And if he has all the time in the world to sit back there in that pocket, I mean, it's physics. I mean, we don't have the speed to keep up with those guys on the outside. They're just faster than we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to tag that possession for Panther Live next week. and replay that, because that's got, I mean, you're up 13 now. That 3 and out is a difference-making series.
Absolutely.
Right here before halftime. So
I won't be surprised in the second half when El Dorado comes out. They are probably going to come out with Shadarius Plummer and DeAndre Burns again, because that's where they've had the majority of their success tonight is with that +1 in the backfield. They tried to throw it against us because they have had some success. I think they were listening to you, but so was our defensive line, because they really dialed it up on that play.
Yeah, they really did.
Well, in combination with the linebackers, because that was Walter Hicks getting back there and causing trouble both times.
As Wilbur's going to do the high pooch, going over to field it is DeAndre Burns at the 16. But the Panthers able to condense the field on him and push him out of bounds at the 27. You mentioned the Benton defensive line, and I do want to give a shout-out to not Justin Dorsey, but Blake Dorsey. I had Justin on the mind twice last week because his hospitality to us in the War Memorial Press Box was exceptional.
Absolutely.
And I called Coach Dorsey Justin Dorsey twice. So
it's an easy thing to confuse, and they're not related at all.
Not even related whatsoever.
But I've done the same thing.
But they're two great guys.
They are.
Two great guys. So first down with 38 seconds, and El Dorado is just going to kneel it down. And
that's kind of surprising.
I can promise you that's something you don't see Brad Harris and Justin Ray ever do right there.
No, with those kind of athletes that you've got, why would you not throw it just quickly to number 3? Let him try to go up and get it. DeAndre Burns, has proven he can outrun our corners.
I got to tell you,
I'm kind of shocked.
I am absolutely puzzled beyond belief on what I just saw.
I think Harris is sitting there thinking, is he about to trick me? Is he going to run a play with 1 second left?
Yeah, and now Panthers going to go to the indoor complex jubilant and elated with a 34-21 lead over El Dorado. If you're an El Dorado fan, you've got to be just frustrated with the way that half ended. As a Panther fan, momentum is all in maroon, Dio.
Oh, absolutely. What a fantastic way to finish. Benton defense and offense both coming up huge. Such a back-and-forth ball game there in that second quarter. It really just seemed kind of like nobody was going to be able to stop anybody. Then all of a sudden, Benton really puts on a display on defense and then turns around with that awesome play. That's the way you want to go into halftime.
We're going to take a break and come back with our Hamilton Family Dentistry halftime show. Benton leads El Dorado at the half, 34-21.
It's Friday, so Panther fans are thinking about our friends over at Riverside Grocery. Everyone knows about their catering that's good as grandma's, but their breakfast and lunch are becoming a Saline County tradition. Deer season's just around the corner, and Riverside's also your headquarters for feed and game processing. So whether you're gassing up or grabbing those essential tailgating supplies, Riverside Grocery has everything you need. Drop by Riverside and start your weekend right.
Elliott Electrical is a proud supporter of Benton Panther football. For over 35 years, Elliott Electrical has been providing reliable, efficient, high-quality electric service to Saline County and Central Arkansas. From lighting design and planning to street and parking lot installation, Elliott Electrical has all the lighting services to keep your home and businesses illuminated. For a free estimate for all your electrical needs, contact Elliott Electrical today at 501-315-7539.
At Farmers Bank and Trust, we know banking isn't always top of mind. You've got other things to focus on, like getting the kids to soccer practice or mowing the lawn or grocery shopping. But our products and services are designed to fit your schedule and needs. From online and mobile banking to convenient hours and locations, Farmers Bank and Trust is easy banking for busy living. To learn more, stop by your local branch today or visit myfarmers.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
So you know how in the fourth quarter of a football game, when the game's on the line, it actually gets kind of stressful, and that's not how a home loan process should be. When you're a week away from closing, which is the fourth quarter, you shouldn't have stress, and that's what at Cornerstone we want to take away. We want that to be a stress-free experience for you. We want it to be that blowout victory.
Text DIO to 36260 to get started on the home mortgage process today.
Can you see her greatness? When you attend her games, when you cheer her on, or when you participate in any way, you support your community and make it better, and you will see her greatness. Join us as we pledge to increase the visibility of women's sports in our communities. It makes a difference when we all are involved. At Everett Buick GMC, we proudly support our local female athletes and encourage you to do the same. See her greatness.
Welcome back. Benton leads El Dorado 34-21. Our Everett See Her Greatness Lady Panther Spotlight. The Lady Panther volleyball team is now 14-0 overall, 7-0 in conference play, and ranked number 2 in the state by Scorebook Live. Every conference win this season has been a sweep, including last night's 3-0 win over Texarkana. Abigail Lagerman and Kennedy Guest led with 7 kills, while Henley Hooks and Lexi Mahan added 6. Emmeline Armstrong led with 12 assists, and Olivia Little had 13 digs. Lady Panther volleyball is back home next Thursday against El Dorado. In tennis, in singles action yesterday, Paisley Hopkins won 8-5 and Kate Calloway 8-1 to sweep their opposition from Texarkana. The doubles teams of Lily Jessen and Emma Young and Ellie Edmondson and Emma Browning also won. Both doubles teams also swept in a 5-3 win over Sheridan on Tuesday. The Lady Panthers end their regular season next Tuesday at Cabot. And the Lady Panther golf team qualified for the state meet that begins Tuesday in Russellville with a third-place finish on Wednesday at the 5A South Conference tournament at the Hot Springs Country Club, finishing just 1 stroke behind second-place El Dorado. Sophomore Finley Van Hook earned all-conference honors with an 89. Freshman Dylan Adams shot a career-low 92, while sophomores Belle Butler and Addison Glaze rounded out the scoring for the Lady Panthers, and we want to wish them the best of luck as they play for a state championship on Tuesday at Russellville. Speaking of greatness and speaking of state champions, how about the 2-time unbeaten state champion, Coach Heidi Cox and the Benton Lady Panthers softballers?
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Well, this is kind of becoming an annual tradition here of football season that we get to relive a state championship for y'all.
We would take it every year.
Wouldn't you, though?
We would. We'd love to come visit you.
Yeah.
All the time.
I mean, did you ever, though, when you were dreaming of being a coach, imagine a 64-game win streak?
No, not at all. It's just been an exciting and blessing. I mean, it's been wonderful. We've been blessed with some super talented individuals, but better young ladies. They are just better human beings, and it's so fun to be around them. They've been such a good group. So we're excited. We're excited to go back into it in the spring.
Well, I know, and we're going to talk to some of your seniors this year here in just a second. Why don't you talk about, for just a second, your seniors that just graduated?
Okay,
because they went through a COVID year and then back-to-back unbeaten seasons. I know that group was very special for you.
Absolutely. Excellent leaders on the field, off the field. We had 8 seniors total. 5 of them have been in the lineup ever since their freshman year, and along with the other 3 that were not starters, put in multiple just hours and time and just the dedication into the team. So all-out impact of those 8 seniors, it was excellent. I mean, what a fun group. So super talented. We're excited. I just think that they have just up the game of softball too in the state. I think they brought a lot of knowledge to the area around here and just put us on the map along with these young ladies right here. And so it's been fun. What an excellent program that I get to have, but was definitely built long before I got here. So it's just we get to continue that. So
awesome.
It's fun.
Awesome. So you got 4 seniors tonight.
Yes.
Tell us who you got with you.
I've got Mallory Crosby. Mallory gets to come in and is going to have to take care of some pitching staff for us. She's part of our pitching staff and will be able to help out with several innings, and while she's not there, she'll be controlling the outfield a little bit too. So I try to sometimes talk her into the infield, but she looks at me like I'm crazy sometimes.
Too scared, Coach Cox.
I know. No, she does an excellent job.
Well, hold on. Too scared, but you pitch?
It's a reaction. It's a reaction. You have to make the play, but
okay. I was going to say, how can you pitch but not play shortstop?
There
I mean,
you go. That's right.
So, but you're an outfielder though, huh?
Yes, sir.
Which spot in outfield?
Probably right field.
Corner outfielder?
She was actually on the base path when Gracie Redmond hit the winning RBI, and she pushed herself around, and she was the winning run. So it was excellent.
Awesome.
She's got a little speed on her, let me tell you. So it's fun to see.
How special is that memory for you?
Oh, it's the best. I think about it a lot because I love Gracie, and I just was so happy to get to watch her do that. As I just got to run around because I didn't have to go too fast because she hit it so hard. So.
But I'm going to tell you, that is one thing. When I watch y'all play, y'all genuinely seem to enjoy encouraging each other, cheering for each other. I mean, just the team spirit y'all have is so unique. How do y'all make that happen?
I think we're all just best friends, and I mean that all starts in like the amount of time we practice together, and it's crazy, and there's a lot of chaos in our practices, but we get to have fun together, and there's like also time for bonding, and that's really important in our program, and we just get to be all best friends, and that just shows up on the field.
And that's awesome, a team of best friends. So let's get one of your other best friends in here. We're gonna take turns here. So Addison, you got headset on first here.
Yes.
So you are an infielder.
I am. Second base.
Second base.
Yes, sir.
Now, you plan on staying at second base, or do you move to shortstop since Shelby graduated, or what?
I mean, that's really up to Coach Cox, but I do love my second base position.
You like second base, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me what it's been like to win two state championships.
It's been amazing. Like, I never would have imagined that we could do it. I always knew that there was a chance that we could, but undefeated, that's just crazy. And we had so much fun along the way, too.
Yeah. Now explain this to me, because I'm a baseball guy, and you've got that kind of run up and hit it sort of. I don't even understand how that works, but you have it mastered. Tell me about your swing at the plate.
Well, I've always gone to hitting lessons with Coach Murph, and he's been amazing. And so whenever I slap, it just came naturally, honestly. He was like, "You're pretty quick. Like, you can go to the left side." So then I just crossed over and hit the ball, and it worked.
But the coordination, because you're moving your feet and you're focusing on the ball, it blows me away, the coordination you have to pull that off.
Yes, well, just comes naturally. I don't know.
A God-given thing?
Yes, Coach Murph's a really good coach.
Okay, very good. So congratulations, Addison. Alyssa, I want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You guys basically rolled through. I mean, Bryant gave you a scare at the end of the season, but then once the state tournament started, y'all shut everybody out. You're rolling along, and then we have the state championship game with Greene County. You're behind, and then the weather comes in and the game is delayed until the next day. Knowing what you were facing tell me what that night was like for you.
I remember that we were sitting in a complex. It was just kind of like we were just waiting on the rain delay, and I'm like, we got to change something up. Something's got to change. We got to come up with something different. And it was just like, yeah, that was the first time that we really been down and haven't come back as quick as we really wanted to. And we came in the next morning, and the greatest prayer by Mallory Crosby, God is good, God is great, let's win state. And I think that honestly just was like, we love God, and we surround ourselves with that, and I think that's why we're really close friends. And it was just like, okay, it was just like a different type of mentality when we get out there, and it was just, we were just ready. We knew what we had to do, and it was like, it was a flip for us. It was a switch, and we just flipped it all around.
Man, that needs to be a T-shirt at Stated.
There you go.
That's the slogan. God is good, God is great, let's win state.
Yes.
Did you go to bed Saturday night nervous or anxious because you were behind, and that's not a spot y'all are used to being in?
No, I actually came in kind of angry. Kind of was like, okay, like tomorrow morning I better be on my A game. Like this is no joke. Like why are we behind? Like I better start hitting. I gotta do. Like I was mad, and my mom always says you play better when you're mad. So I took that anger. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let them hit. I'm not gonna let them try to strike me out. I just came in with a different mentality to kind of play.
And you absolutely did it. I mean, just dominant in that restart on Sunday afternoon. So, all right, we got one more to jump in here, right? All right, who else we got?
Dakota.
Dakota.
Yes, sir.
Dakota, what's it like to win a state championship?
It's unbelievable. Like, it's remarkable. I couldn't even imagine, but back-to-back is even better than imagined.
Yes. So this is your senior year.
Yes, sir.
What are you most excited about for this season?
Just being around the team. The chemistry is strong with our group of girls, and I couldn't expect anything better.
Awesome. And what position will you be playing this year?
Utility, wherever Coach Cox puts me.
Wherever Coach Cox puts you,
Yes,
huh?
sir.
Mound?
No.
Pitcher?
Everything but pitcher.
Everything but pitcher,
And
okay.
first. Everything
And
but
first?
pitcher and first.
Okay, anywhere else you're good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach Cox, can you jump on one more time? So I love the atmosphere around your team, and to hear your girls say we're best friends, I mean, that's got to make your heart swell.
Absolutely, absolutely. They enjoy each other, and they love being around each other. They're excited to come to practice, and that's one thing I can, that's all I can ask for is just for them to give them an escape, and when they cross those lines, we have a good time. But also, this group's it's just been really great the last couple of years celebrating others. And when she does something good, they are the first ones out that door, and they understand sacrifice. We do a thing, too, where we sacrifice a bat. We are out the door and celebrating it just like it's a home run. So just stuff like that. And this group is really big in giving back. So we try to do a lot of team bonding and a lot of community service and just letting them know if they serve others, God will bless. And we just want to make sure that they're loving each other and loving everyone else.
Man, that's awesome.
But we try.
I mean, what better way to live than loving people and loving your teammates? So, man, congratulations. Y'all absolutely deserve all that y'all have achieved.
Well, thank you.
And
thank you for having us.
Yeah. Congratulations. Can't wait to win a third one.
Hey, we're going to try our best. We understand, and that was really last year, too. We knew that there could be a loss that comes, and we were okay with that. It was going to be how we responded, how we handled ourselves. We understand that as well. There could be a loss this year. We're going to respond. We're going to get out there, and we're going to do our best, and we're just going to hopefully not the last game of the season. That's what we always say. So we're going to try to be there at the end.
Awesome. Coach Cox, thank you. Girls, thank you all so much. Yeah, appreciate y'all coming up tonight. So, Coach Heidi Cox and the Benton Lady Panther softballers, we have been privileged to see their greatness, back-to-back state champions. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the Hamilton Family Dentistry halftime show. We'll look at some first-half stats as Benton leads El Dorado 34-21. CTS Industrial Services and Rooster Portable Toilets are both Saline County-based companies. Rooster provides portable toilets, luxury restroom trailers, and hand wash stations for construction sites and special events such as races, weddings, concerts, family reunions, or weekend events. Rooster can also pump septic tanks. CTS provides large roll-off dumpsters for your construction site or large event. Give CTS or Rooster a call at 501-778-4535 or 501-672-5164.
At Saline Health System, we're focused on making our communities healthier, and that starts with providing the care you need. Our team of family, internal, and pediatric medicine physicians are focused on providing high-quality care. So when you need care for the whole family, you can count on us, Saline Clinics.
All right, back at the Palace, Benton leads at 34-21. I'm going to let you guys break down the stats, and we'll keep an eye on Kaysen for his visit with Brad Harris. Terry, take it away.
Well, I'm going to need the stats first, and they're coming up. There we go. So, as Jim said, the halftime score is 34-21 Panthers, an action-packed DO second quarter, which saw the Panthers really turn it up on offense. 267 yards in total offense in the first half for the Benton Panthers. And they held the Wildcats. This has got to be a typo. They held the Wildcats to 25 yards rushing in the first half. And that's outstanding. Dio.
Well, and that's the reason that the score is 34-21 because, El Dorado is one-dimensional right now, obviously on the stat line, but it doesn't feel that way. I know it does seem like a typo that they've only got 25 yards on the ground, but the Panthers have done a good job, and it didn't hurt to to get a few lost yardage plays there at the end. That kind of hurt the rush yards total. But Panthers leading the way with 13 first downs, almost doubling the Wildcats 7, which is, that's just evidence of our ability to move the ball when our offense gets in rhythm. Benton Panthers 3 of 8 on third downs, not a stat I'm sure Coach Harris is going to be happy with. El Dorado Wildcats 2 of 5. Penalties. This is one that they've had we've had the same number of penalties, but the Wildcats penalties have all been more costly, with 59 yards of penalties versus Benton's only 24.
Yeah, the stat that really jumps out at me is the 2 of 5 on third down, or 3 of 6, however you want to position it with third and fourth down. But the 2 of 5 on third down, and actually their fourth down conversion, all came on the same drive, and that was the opening drive for the Wildcats, where they came in and got 2 critical third and shorts on that first drive, and then converted a fourth down on the same drive, cashing it in for a touchdown. And the Panthers probably could have done a little bit better on third down with the 3 of 8, but they're 2 of 3 on fourth down, Dio. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good job by the Panther offense in converting and staying on the field.
Yeah, I mean, that 2 of 3 on fourth downs is pretty good. It helps to have a running back like Braylon Russell, and that jumbo package that they put in was, that's a fantastic package for a running back like him, because no matter what, he's going to have a little bit of room to get the ball, get going downfield, and that's what he needs. If he can get ahead of steam up, man, he's tough to bring down.
He sure is. Jim, have you got some individual stats over there?
Yeah, Braylon 17 carries, 95 yards, and a touchdown in the first half. Not bad for a guy who's been sick all day.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive, tough night. He also caught 3 passes for 13 yards. Remember, this is an El Dorado defense that was only allowing 56 yards a game passing. Benton 12 of 17 combined passing in that first half. Jack Woolbright was 7 of 9 for 81 yards. Klein Hooten 4 of 7 for 33. So the Panther passing game potent in that first half.
Yeah, it sure was, and especially with Woolbright's efficiency, the Panthers were able to get some guys open. But man, how about the half that Womack had?
Boy, he had a half. What were his stats, Jim?
4 catches, 45 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, while that doesn't necessarily sound mind-blowing for a receiver, but that is just first half stats. But it's how he did that.
All of them were tough catches, yeah.
All right, Coach Harris is about to meet Case and Mertens. Let's go down for our halftime interview with the head coach.
What's up, Coach? What's up? Hey, good half. You're up by 2 touchdowns here going into the second half. Defense came out, kind of stepped it up towards the end of the half. So what do you think about your defense so far?
Well, right now, Casey, we're playing a little bit different speed. Early on, I didn't think we were playing well. We gave up a couple touchdowns. But we got a little bit of momentum right now. We're playing fast, and the guys are believing we can shut them down. So, this is going to be a huge series coming out. Get a stop right here, hopefully. Go score another one, separate a little bit from them.
Yes, sir. And Drake Womack on offense, man, makes up some big catches. Plan going to the second half, going to him, or where are we going?
Well, we're going to try to get to him as much as we can, man, okay? Over the top, however, heck, Coach Ray, we got a couple more double passes, maybe even 3 passes in this arsenal, man, okay? All right?
That's right. Appreciate it, Coach.
Now, Kaysen, that'd be a first. I don't remember a triple pass.
I've never seen a triple pass.
We've seen the double pass. Kaysen, the triple pass, is that something we ever ran in your day?
I don't think I've ever seen anybody run a triple pass. But, hey, it's the first time for anything. Let's do it.
Hey, Kaysen, just do us this favor, okay, and it'll almost ensure it will happen. Just tell Coach Ray he can't do it.
Just tell me he can't do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, yes. He's the most competitive guy out there. You tell that man he can't do something. Oh, I remember when he first came in, quick story. I remember when he first came in, he wasn't really swole like that, but he came into the weight room, and he's talking about, he'd throw up 315. And I thought he was talking about deadlifting it. I'm like, man, you can't do that. You're too old for that. He came in there, no warm-up, and power cleaned 315. And so you tell him he can't do something, I promise you he'll do it.
Well, his offense was impressive in that first half. But, guys, we got to remember at the 2:12 mark of the second quarter, Benton trailed 21-20. The touchdown pass to Drake Womack, the 3-and-out brought by the defensive pressure, Terry, at a key to victory tonight. And then the punt that went off the protector's hip went out of bounds that allowed Benton to score again. That was a powerful DO last 2 minutes and 12 seconds for the Panthers.
Yeah, you're right. And special teams, I mean, it always plays, it seems like it always plays a big role in these close, these good matchups. So glad that Benton is, kind of got the upper hand on special teams right now, but just fast and furious scoring there in the second quarter. And I'm curious to see what changes El Dorado's made to their offense, because I just don't think they can sustain their offense if they can't get something going on the ground.
Yeah.
So the Hamilton Family Dentistry halftime show tonight, boy, that was a good one. Heidi Cox and the Benton Lady Panthers senior softballers, winners of 64 games in a row and 2 consecutive unbeaten state championships. And, boy, you can just
unbeaten.
You just can feel the love and chemistry among them from coach to player and player to player.
How hard is that to do? Because you've got girls from different grades.
Yeah.
You've got sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And, to bring those new players in and to continue that chemistry year after year takes a special coach. She's a good one.
Absolutely. I want you to stick around following the game tonight as we will announce the HBA Construction Panther MVPs on both offense and defense. HBA Construction offers home remodeling and additions, new home construction, residential rental remodeling and maintenance, new decks and repair, and privacy wood fences. You can give Hunter at HBA Construction a call at 501-722-8700 for more. As Lucas Wilbur's kickoff to start the second half goes into the end zone, and El Dorado has 80 yards in front of them to open the second half, and there is that weapon again, Dio, the kick that forces El Dorado to go a long field.
Why didn't we do the other 2 times the other 3 times we didn't kick it into the end zone?
Well, Dio, you had to rest his leg.
Does it work that way? I mean, is it like a pitcher? I know once they get up to 90 pitches, that's a lot. Quarterbacks, I mean, they throw 40, 50 times a game. Are you telling me kickers can't go more than 3 or 4?
Out of the half, Shadarius Plummer is going to take the direct snap. He has DeAndre Burns in the backfield, so El Dorado, with the halftime adjustment, going to that +1 in the backfield. Plummer takes a snap, going to flare it out to Burns. We saw that play multiple times in the first half, and the Benton defense plays it very well. It's Chase Harding and Chris Bernard bump him out of bounds after a short gain.
Well, and it doesn't help their run tally. I mean, that doesn't help their run totals, but that's basically a running play.
Yeah.
It's just a forward lateral for the most part, kind of a weak pass, but
it goes for 4 yards, but candidly, he got another yard off of a stiff arm.
Plummer takes a snap. This time he gives it to Burns running wide. Burns has the edge. Gary Rideout doing a good job fighting off a tackle and bumping him out of bounds at the 32. But that'll be good for an El Dorado first down.
Yeah, it's good to see Rideout back out there. Got hurt early in the season. Now he's healed up and back out contributing.
Third quarter of the Salt Bowl, in fact.
Well, he's got a big club on his hand. He's still wrapped up pretty good.
That's old Garrett Taylor look, isn't it?
It is the old Garrett Taylor look.
Old Billy Club defense as DeAndre Burns catches it in the seam. Chris Bernard again on the tackle. But that's good for 11 and an El Dorado first down.
Yeah, you got to have a guy on him at all times. And they've got to start putting some pressure on him on the line of scrimmage too, and that's easier said than done. But you can't let him get in open space.
Well, given these guys, I mean, there's a 5-6 yard gap between the receivers and our DBs. That's tough, man, when you've got guys with speed.
There's Burns.
Woo.
Cuts it back to the middle of the field. Bernard, first one to get him, but Harding and Ship combined to lay the wood to Burns.
I would not want to be held up with Chase Harding bearing down.
Boy, you watch that on
this
the replay.
Boom.
Wow.
I mean, that snapped his head back. He needs to see the chiropractor.
Gain of 5, second down and 5. That's a sponsor we don't have. Chiropractor. We need to reach out to somebody.
Well, if
you hear that, Ron?
If my dad wasn't retired.
Rocky Vanucci?
Yeah. He's retired, though.
Walter Hicks.
He's probably watching tonight.
Makes the stop on that run. It's going to be third down and a long 5 for El Dorado at their own 49.
This is a big down right here, guys.
Yes, it is. And they switched out. They're going pass, or at least making it look like they are.
They stacked 2 receivers to each side. DeAndre Burns is the second receiver to the top of your screen. Colin Parker pressured, sack.
Fumble.
A strip sack by Walter Hicks, and the Panthers have come up with it. Look what the pressure does.
Man.
Big time play.
I mean, Walter Hicks coming in as a sophomore, playing like he's been a phenomenal defensive player since he was in 5th grade. Mickey Davis coached him in future Panthers, I remember.
And the jungle has been unleashed.
The strip sack, I believe Bernard came up with his second fumble recovery of the game. And Benton's in business at the El Dorado 37. Woolbright throws to Womack, breaks a tackle, spins out of another one, and carries the El Dorado tackler down to the 26-yard line. That'll move the chains. A gain of 12 and a first down. Zalix Meeks on the tackle.
That's confidence, guys. That's confidence.
First down. Give to Russell. Flip back to Woolbright. Throw for Owen. Couldn't hold on to it as a Javion Gilmore batted it away at the last minute. Great effort by Logan Owen. Great play by Gilmore.
Got a flag down back here at the line of scrimmage, though.
Yeah, and he's already, the umpire's already made the call, holding.
Oh, I didn't see it.
So that'll back Benton up to the 42-yard line. Spot of the foul. It's 14 yards on the penalty. And it'll be first down and 24 at the 42-yard line. Give it off to Braylon Russell. Braylon is going to carry defenders down to the 35. Wow.
I mean, just churning and churning.
Curtis Jefferson lost his helmet. Caden Perry got up slow for El Dorado. Braylon with another punishing run, and that puts him over 100 yards, doesn't it, Tony? 102 on the night for Braylon after that carry. Second down and 18. Woolbright drops back, sets up the screen. Braylon Russell with it. He's got a convoy. He is going to cut off Parker Glaze's block and be inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line, and Benton's going to have it first and goal.
Well, that was a nice patient run that time, Dio.
That was a really patient run right there, but great job right here. Watch him kind of sidestep the defender and then waits on his blocker to come downfield. I almost wanted to see him just bull rush in around the end right there.
As Russell comes to the sideline, Donovan Pearson is going to check in at running back. Womack is the H-back. Going to roll to the right, throw it to Womack, makes the catch, lunging for the end zone. Not going to reach it as making the tackle of Javion Gilmore at the 3. It'll be second and goal.
Well, yeah, he actually stepped. He almost got the ball to the pylon, but he actually stepped out on the 3-yard line.
Second and goal. Give to Donovan, and a flag.
Oh, my goodness.
Crossed the way by the linesman, and a false start against Benton.
Put it in the pocket, fellas. Let the boys play football.
And the offender Elias Payne is coming to the sideline as the wide receiver, farthest man from the football, false starts. Kobe Howard checks in. And it's 2nd and goal at the 8. As Panthers look to the sideline for the play. Snap clock at 5. Give it to Pearson running left, and very well played on the edge by LaVictor Livingston for no gain, and it'll be 3rd and goal as Braylon Russell going to check back in for Benton.
Yeah, that was well played by the El Dorado defense. They just had the lane shut down, and he made a great open field tackle as well.
3rd and goal. Motion Davis to the near side. Looking to set up the pass. The throw, Logan Owen holds on to it in traffic. Touchdown for the senior as Logan Owen with a great catch. And the Panthers go up by 19, 40-21.
Nice catch. Way to fight for it.
Dio, that actually was a great combo right there. It was a good throw to allow your receiver to go up and make a play. And Lowen went up and made a great play.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been possible, you're right, if Jack wouldn't have put it, he had to throw it up a little bit high right there to give him an opportunity at it. A great play. Great time. I mean, everybody played well because the offensive line did a good job of giving him time back there.
Coach Harris is hyping him up on the sidelines, too.
Jason, you talk about physical play and toughness, and you got it from a senior wide receiver right there in Logan Owen.
Man, I love those guys. I love Logan Owen and Drake Womack. Those two guys on the outside, hard hitting, just hard-nosed guys. I think Coach Harris was kind of hyping him up because he went up on a 4-star DB, which is pretty nice. So these guys are fired up here, loving the way the receivers are playing.
Panthers go 8 plays, 37 yards. That was after the turnover. So you think about how this game has turned as Benton has scored 21 answered points with the defense coming up big.
That's exactly right. And the offense overcoming their mistakes. They had a couple of penalties that could have been drive-killing penalties, but they overcame them and wound up with a touchdown.
Well, the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 of the second half, Dio, the Panthers have owned that 8-minute block.
Well, it's like they got over their Catholic slump that first quarter because ever since then it's been Panthers playing lights out.
It's Lucas Wilbur to kick off for the Panthers. Puts a foot into it, kicks it high. DeAndre Burns is going to field it at the 1. He's got a chance on the return. He's coming, and there you go. Short of the 15-yard line is Javion Parker on the tackle for the Benton coverage team. Hey, we're in the Jim Landers broadcast booth, and the legend is at the other end of the press box from us tonight. So it is always good when Jim Landers is in the house. He's down there where the food.
He's guarding the food.
Yeah, he's guarding the food. That's exactly right.
How good was the food tonight, Dio?
Oh, man, the food was wonderful. Where was that from? I didn't ask Scott.
I think it was a wood grill night.
Okay, well, it was good. Jim's guarding the cookies down there right now. There are cookies down there.
First down, El Dorado as Benton leads at 41-21. Parker throws, batted up in the air, and Burns is going to make the deflected catch. Chris Bernard with the tackle, Dio.
That's a fantastic tackle to come through there. Usually that's when somebody catches the tip ball. That's when they're able to go for a ways, but good job staying with the man.
That time DeAndre comes off hobbled up. He got that ankle rolled over. He's on the sidelines.
Second down and 10. It's Parker in the shotgun, stands at the 10, takes the snap, looks right, throws right, catch is made.
Oh, wow. What a move.
And up the El Dorado sideline into Benton territory, going to be bumped out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Is making the catch for El Dorado was DeMarcus Young.
Wow, what a move and to get himself into open field. He split 2 defenders that time on the shake and he went right up the sidelines for a monster play for the El Dorado offense.
Yeah, he's a big boy, 5'8", 188 pounds. That's a load to bring down.
Had 5 catches for just 30 yards coming in. That one went for 45 as they set up the screen, this time to Dominique Grimes, and the Panther defense played it excellent.
Late flag came flying in there, and I'm not sure what that is.
That's going to be a hold, I think.
It was in the area of a hold. That's what you would think where he threw it. Yep.
Yeah, I couldn't see the numbers, but they had a hold right there in the middle of the field on one of the linebackers.
Well, even with it, it didn't do him any good because the Panther defense did a fantastic job of pursuing.
Actually, he wrapped up Jamie Jones, and Jamie Jones fought his way through it and wound up making the tackle.
Terry, I got to tell you, Jamie ain't played in years.
We were in the time machine for a minute.
I was.
As Colin Parker drops back, he's airing it out, overthrows his receiver. Airing Rideout with a great interception. What a pick by Rideout at the 15.
Are you kidding me? With one good – wow.
Club
one
dub.
Usable thumb, and he catches it.
Rideout with the club interception.
Tips it to himself with the club.
Are you kidding me?
What a play by Gary Rideout, and somewhere Garrett Taylor.
Send that to ESPN because that's got to be worth something when you tip yourself the ball with your club.
Channel 11, Yarnell's Play of the Week.
Eminem, we've got to have a clip.
Send it in. Send it in, Matt. For a first down give to Braylon Russell. And Russell, boy,
he just is a bully.
It takes 8 to stop his forward progress. They never got him to the ground at the 21.
Let's look at the interception again from a different angle. This is going to be great.
Unbelievable.
That right there needs to go to ESPN.
Crazy. Play of the week.
2nd down and 4. Woolbright looks right, pumps. He's going to air it out for Logan Owen. Owen makes the catch at midfield. That's back-to-back brilliant catches by the senior wide receiver.
Boy, Logan Owen is doing work tonight. Going up, every catch he's made has been heavily contested, but he's like, I'm here to play, guys.
30 yards on the pitch and catch. It's first down Benton at the El Dorado 49-yard line. The Panthers go to the quick pass to Logan Owen. He's going to reach the El Dorado 46.
Boy, that time Braylon Russell gave a great downfield block. Freed him up for another 2 of those 3 yards.
Well, if was that Maddox that caught that? Was that Maddox Davis?
It was Logan.
It was Logan. If he would have cut further to the inside behind Braylon and followed him, he may have had a little bit of a crease there, but he kind of stayed to the outside right there.
It's 3 completions in a row to Logan Owen.
Or it was Lowen, as I called him.
Lowen, yeah.
It's a silent G. It's fancy.
That time Braylon Russell is going to be hit in the backfield by Tacoy Stewart and dumped for a 3-yard loss.
Man, listen, I love Braylon's toughness, but there's sometimes you just need to go down.
Well, he was down on that play. There should have probably been a flag thrown. That was a questionably late hit.
So 3rd down and 10 following the loss of 3.
Getting the play in.
Snap clock at 5, 4, 3. Get the snap off. Fake to Russell. Throw. Diving attempt by Maddox Davis on the slant. And they're going to rule it incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, it was a good throw. A little bit in front of him, and Maddox just couldn't pull it in. That would have been an amazing catch if he would have made it.
So we'll see the Panthers punt for the first time tonight. With Hunter Goodwin out, Peyton McNeely will be the deep snapper. Chris Bernard, averaging 36.4 yards per punt, will punt it away. DeAndre Burns back to receive for El Dorado. And Bernard's rugby-style punt is a knuckleball that Burns is not going to field. It hits the turf, takes an El Dorado roll, and is down by Patrick Ship at the 17-yard line.
That was a great job that time on punt coverage. They had that punt all covered up.
36 yards on the punt. So not only is Chris Bernard doing work at safety and at running back, he also gets a good 36-yard punt off to pin El Dorado inside their 20. That's a statistical category. You punt them inside the 20, D.O.
That is a statistical. That's a tough word right now. This Panther defense has been owning the Wildcats this quarter, so let's see if they can continue it.
Burns back in there, and he makes the catch, lowers his head, and runs straight into Javion Parker, who lost his helmet and will have to come out for a play.
Man, the speed of that young man is amazing. And the Panther defense kept him contained.
Gain of 5. It's 2nd down and 5 for the Wildcats. Parker throws under pressure as Chase Harding hit him. He found his receiver, T.J. Dunn, on the slant, right out on the tackle. Moves the chains. 1st down, El Dorado at the 41.
Well, I will tell you this. Give Parker his due. That was one of the best throws of the night because he absolutely got lit up as soon as he let that ball go. Credit to him for staying in the pocket.
Again, Parker pressured. Parker sacked as
Walter Hicks again.
Walter Hicks with his 3rd sack of the night, guys.
Yeah, you're starting to see a little fatigue, I think, on that offensive line. They're starting to wear down a little bit and miss some blocks. Panther defense is starting to get to the quarterback a little bit, and that's exactly what we needed.
Loss back to the 31. It's a loss of 10. So Mason Woolbright is texting his defensive MVP candidate already as the throw high for T.J. Dunn incomplete. It's Gary Rideout in coverage for the Panthers. 3:52 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Mason Woolbright has already voted.
He voted Gary Rideout, didn't he?
He did not.
Walter Hicks.
He voted Walter Hicks.
Well, I'll tell you this. Gary Rideout is playing a big role in this game right now. He's covering these big-time receivers, and he's making plays. That was great coverage that time.
So 3rd down and 20 for El Dorado. It's Harding and Hicks showing blitz. Parker throws to the other side of the field. Marcus King batted it away, and it was almost caught on the deflection by Burns, D.O., but it fell incomplete. Great coverage by O'Marcus.
That was great coverage by O'Marcus, and I thought he'd caught it on the deflection.
And a great defense by the Panthers, too. They had him covered up. They had Burns covered up that time with a 2-man coverage. And so they threw into double coverage, and they were able to knock the ball away.
Now let's see if they punted here, because the last time this didn't go well for El Dorado. They're going to do it again. My word. Parker's punt is going to take a good El Dorado roll up the far sideline and finally go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That would scare me to death.
You know, one of the things that has always been a tradition about playing El Dorado is things we cannot explain. You remember the year that we played them, and they were literally averaging for the entire game 7 yards a carry, and they got down inside the 10-yard line and threw the ball 3 times, one of which was an interception to end the game.
I remember when they had the big running quarterback that we could not stop.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then they just quit running him.
Flare out to Braylon Russell. And Russell going to be.
Go down, Braylon.
Curtis Jefferson got a hold of him around the ankle, and then a couple of Wildcats converge to drop Braylon for a loss back to the 28-yard line.
Man, when they get him stood up like that, it makes me nervous.
You know, the big quarterback, though, was the one who threw the pass that Stone Paul picked off.
I was about to say, that was the one Stone Paul picked off and returned 99 yards.
Yes.
Do you remember the defensive end that they had that looked like a full-grown lumberjack? He was bald and had a full beard.
I do. Wore number 44.
Yeah, and I think after the game, I'm pretty sure he met his wife and his 3 kids at their car and they drove home. So he looked like a professional football player. He was 6'5" or something. He was a massive human, and he looked like a grown man. I'll never forget that. And they were good. El Dorado was good that year.
3rd down and 11. They move the football back to the 29. 2:48 to go in the 3rd quarter as try to get Dio off of memory lane here.
Sorry.
Jack Woolbright sets up the screen for Elias Payne, and Payne breaks through the first wave, spins out of another, and Elias Payne, sheer determination and will, is going to get the first down to the 45. What a play. Is Elias slow to get up?
That was crazy. And Elias is shaking up on the field. But what an effort. What an individual effort to get that first down.
He was spinning like a top. Watch this replay.
They miss one there. Then he spins off of that one. Then carries another guy down across the first down. Wow.
And he fell on the football. Hopefully he just knocked the wind out of him. As now he's sitting up. And
there's nothing worse than that feeling, though, when you land on a football and you get that diaphragm cramped up right there.
And that's a young man that will shine on Friday nights and then go play golf for Mark Ballesteri and shoot even par.
Yeah.
I mean, just a tremendous talent. Elias Payne being helped off by Drew Harris and T.J. White. See head coach Brad Harris out there as well. What an effort by Elias. He picked up 16 on the play, and it'll be first down Benton at the 45. Panthers lead it by 20, 41-21, on the strength of 21 unanswered points since the 2:12 mark of the second quarter. Give it off to Big Braylon running left, and Braylon, boy, he just refuses to go down, Terry. Picks up 2 yards, and even his 2-yard runs are entertaining.
Well, I mean, his 2-yard. Listen, when he gets a hole, it's trouble. And the problem is he's getting hit at the line of scrimmage because they've got 8 guys in the box at all times.
2nd down and 8, Panthers at the Benton 47. And a
fumble
mistake on the snap. It's a pile at the 45-yard line. Benton recovers.
Quick thinking by Jack Woolbright, or quick movement. He got in there pretty quick and saved that.
Because Carter Sanders just never got off the ground, Terry.
Just hung up. Yeah. That's the thing about it. These real leather, that genuine leather football and that turf, it's tough. These 6th graders that I'm coaching right now, they struggle with that. And, about every 10th snap for them gets caught on the turf.
So Woolbright sets up the screen for Chris Bernard. Good blocking. There's a flag. Bernard's going to take it all the way, but I'm afraid that one's going to come back. Another flag comes flying.
Dadgum, that guy needs to sign him up for the league. Did you see him toss that flag?
The back judge threw that flag 30 yards on the run.
On the run.
So we've got 2 markers, one back at near the line of scrimmage, one at the El Dorado 30. And I believe a touchdown to Chris Bernard's coming back.
Yeah.
We've got to be in the 13 penalty range now between the two teams. 13 to 14. We're going to play this one again. Offsetting penalties. Got a hold on the offense.
We got 2. 2 holdings.
How about our man Brian Black watching in Georgia tonight?
Yeah, we got folks watching in Georgia. The Kappa Sigs are watching at UCA. Panther Nation, baby.
Nothing like Friday night in the fall.
Well, it's great that you can be anywhere. As long as you have internet, you can watch this. That's kind of cool.
So following the penalty, 3rd and long. Throw to Maddox Davis.
Oh, wow.
And there's Maddox. He's going to have the first down and more as he is dragging down the field. Caden Perry all the way to the 31-yard line. What a huge 3rd down conversion. That was 3rd and 23, and the Panthers pick up 37.
Boy, Jack threw a dot right there.
Panthers back at it on 1st down. Throw to Maddox, and he overthrew him that time on the corner route.
Well, it's starting
Incomplete.
to feel, I'm sorry to step on you there. Starting to feel a little chemistry between Jack and Maddox.
2nd down, Panthers at the Wildcat 32-yard line. So Woolbright surveys the defense, now looks to the sideline for the play call. Got Donovan Pearson in the sidecar to his right. Handoff to Donovan. Donovan nowhere to run as he was met immediately by Nick Wilson, the 5'7", 220-pound senior defensive tackle. And it'll be 3rd and 10 Panthers as the 3rd quarter about to run out, 30 seconds remaining. About a 1-second difference in the snap clock and game clock, so the Panthers will have to snap it one more time here in the quarter, leading 41-21. So Woolbright takes that snap, gives it off to Donovan Pearson. And Donovan that time with a slashing run down near the 26-yard line as the 3rd quarter horn sounds. We've got 12 minutes to go tonight here at the Palace, and Benton leads at 41-21 over El Dorado. This is Benton Fighting Panther football, brought to you by M&M Productions.
We all have our share of new beginnings in life, like new friends and new adventures, and there will always be new ways to participate and help in our communities. Here at Everett, community focus is a top priority. That's part of the Everett difference. And so is a strong dedication to our employees and customers, with sales and service support that's unmatched in the industry. So when you're ready for that next vehicle purchase, come see us at Everett or click on everettbgmc.com.
Family and community go hand in hand. That's why ACDI proudly calls downtown Benton our home and why we are excited to be a part of this community. Hi, I'm Josh Lane, the team captain at ACDI. My teammates understand the importance of serving in the community, and at ACDI, we'll always make that a priority. We are proud sponsors of the Benton Panther football team and thankful to share our family with this great hometown. Go Panthers!
Hey, Panther fans, want to remind you, every Tuesday night at 6:30, join us at Lost Pizza for Panther Live. Lost Pizza is located at 510 Highway North in Benton. You can come join us for some great food, fellowship, and Panther football talk with Coach Brad Harris and the HBA Construction Panther players of the game. We also spotlight a couple of seniors every week, and the show is streamed live on YouTube on the Benton Football Network. 4th down and 5 for Benton as we open the 4th quarter. Jack Woolbright throws under pressure, and he underthrows Logan Owen, incomplete. So El Dorado gets a hold to open the 4th quarter, and the Wildcats will take the football at their own 27-yard line, trailing 41-21. Terry, the Benton defense has thrown a shutout thus far in the second half.
Yeah, they've played well so far, but we've still got another 12 minutes to go. That time the El Dorado defense brought a lot of pressure that time, Dio. Chased Jack out of the pocket. Caused an errant pass.
Well, that's the thing about playing El Dorado is you can't, even a 20-point lead in the 4th quarter, is not a comfortable enough lead, in my opinion. We've seen how these games can go.
But we've seen the PDC play with more confidence.
Yes.
In the third quarter. So certainly the pressure has been dialed up, and the Panthers are showing pressure here as Jake Jones in a stand-up spot on the line. And there he comes. Nick Wright also comes. John Brooks Elia checks in at quarterback, and he throws a lofting pass that DeAndre Burns catches. Javion Parker gets him out of bounds right at midfield. So El Dorado with a quarterback change for the fourth quarter. John Brooks Elia, the 6-foot, 175-pound senior, is in at quarterback. He was 5 for 9 for 77 yards against Marion 2 weeks ago. Elia going to hand it off to Plummer on the draw, and that's going to go for a couple of yards before Herbner and Hicks make the tackle.
I got to ask a question. How does DeAndre Burns not have a soul on him when he's on the field? Because there was nobody within 15 yards of him a while ago.
That's a good question.
Elia drops back, rolls to his left, throws, catches made down at the 35-yard line. Dominique Grimes on the reception. Patrick Shipp on the tackle.
And they're going to get 15 more for a late hit on the quarterback. Roughing the passer.
Well, Terry, that's not awesome. No, we couldn't see that on the screen. You didn't have to ruin the viewers' time. They didn't have to know that. Yeah, that's one of those bad combinations where they get the completion and then after the fact you get the extra 15 yards.
Well, and I think it was Jones that hit the quarterback. But I mean, when you're going full speed, man, you can't just pull up. And he got the pass off, and Jones hit him.
A foul of aggression adds 15 to the 13-yard reception. El Dorado's got it in the red zone. Elia that time is pressured and just dumps it into the turf. And we are going to see if a late flag comes out for grounding.
There should be.
And there it is right there. That's one where the officials confer, and they are going to call grounding. Stephen Jones is pointing at a receiver over on the far sideline as the line judge and the referee will now visit and confer. Stephen Jones,
do you
head coach, objecting. Do
you not have to get the ball across the line of scrimmage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you also had to have the ball at least somewhere in the vicinity of that receiver, neither of which happened.
Well, they've changed it this year in high school. As long as you're outside the tackle box, you can throw it into the bleachers. But you've got to be outside the tackle box, and it does have to pass the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he threw that one down into the ground, and I know that number one was, technically his intended target, but he didn't cross the line of scrimmage with his throw.
And because it's a spot foul, it goes for 15 yards. So El Dorado in the hole, 2nd and 25 with the loss of down. As Elia takes the snap, he's going to flare it out to Burns. And Burns going to make two miss.
Man.
Patrick Shipp is finally going to get him from behind at the 27-yard line.
That guy is so shifty.
Yeah, if you're an Arkansas State fan, you got to be excited about DeAndre Burns.
He is a very good football player. He's fun to watch,
Boy, he is
just
quick.
Raw talent.
5'10", 155-pound senior. Of course, he won the 100-meter dash state champion last year at the 5A state championship track meet. As Elia drops back on 3rd down, he's going to air it out as a man wide open, and that goes for a touchdown as a blown coverage is going to result in a Jacoby Montgomery 27-yard touchdown catch from John Brooks Elia. And Dio, as you said, boy, you can't let up on El Dorado as they come back and cut it to 14 at 41-27.
Yeah, well, and you can't, like that play, that you can't give the quarterback that much time because you can't cover receivers for 10 seconds. It's not possible, and that's what happened there. I don't know that I'd call that a busted coverage as much as, a busted pass rush given enough time and the quarterback scrambling around back there, he's going to find an open guy.
Sixth place, 73 yards in just a minute, 34 seconds. As they put in the quarterback, we weren't sure if we would see Terry, and Elia took him right down the field.
Yeah, he did a great job. He's a good quarterback, and in that drive, he took a couple of really, really big hits and was able to come back and make the next play.
So Case and the offense is going to have to go back to work here as El Dorado's cut it to 13.
Yeah, these boys aren't going home. That's for sure. So we got to step up right here. Again, just consistency on the offense. Let's just take control of the ball, play our game, and let's keep our defense off the field for a minute.
Now, you're going to probably see the hands team. El Dorado was warming up and
I saw that too,
kicking the onside kick in the warm-ups coming out in the second half. So I fully expect them to try a little razzle-dazzle here.
So let me ask you this, though. So that drive took 1:34. Yeah, they're going to
both of the kickers.
He's talking to him. But they only took 1:34 off there. Do you need to onside kick it with 10:20 left? I mean, when you're able to score, a little bit quicker than you may have thought.
Well, with the way that they're kicking the ball, I don't know that they lose anything by trying.
Fact. That's a good point.
So both kickers are out there. Rivas is going to tee it up, but he has Cooper Henry standing right there beside him. And as you saw on the screen, both kickers were visiting with head coach Stephen Jones before they went out onto the field.
15's kicking it. That's my guess.
They're both lining up as if they're going to kick because Rivas is the left footer. Henry approaches the ball. He fakes a kick. Now Rivas kicks it to the far side, and a flag is thrown as fielding it was Ty Matea and went straight to the turf.
Yeah, you can't miss the ball and step over the line.
Correct.
That's a false start penalty, or whatever it's called in kickoff.
Can we decline it?
No,
not.
because it's before the ball moves, so it's a dead ball penalty.
Yeah, I think Brad Harris is talking to the official on the Benton sideline about that very thing. They are going to back it up to the 35, tee it up in the center of the field again. And we'll see if they do the fake kick again. As Rivas this time is going to approach it, and he's just going to go with the conventional onside. Maddox Davis, sure hands, fields it and falls to the turf at the 49. So once again, Benton with great field position on the El Dorado side of the 50, guys.
Now a nice little 6-minute, 52-yard or 49-yard drive would be lovely.
Yeah, just a little time burner here. Just keep the ball on the ground and chew some clock up.
So Braylon Russell going to be in the backfield. He's going to get it running left. Braylon has Connor Morgan in front of him. And Braylon is going to carry down to the 36-yard line, a gain of 13 and a Panther first down.
I'll tell you this, when Braylon is running towards the sideline and he puts his foot in the ground, you're in trouble. Because every time he does that, he's about to shoot through a gap.
Run right this time, and Braylon again running hard. And he's had his best game of the year, guys, and he was sick as all get out this morning. It's just amazing.
Well, a bunch of flags came in. Something happened after the fact.
As the carry was good for 7 yards, we do have multiple flags. Carter Sanders is pointing in El Dorado's direction, and we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against El Dorado. So that's going to move it all the way down around the, 14-yard line?
I think that's a great call, just inside the 15.
Terry, you were wanting to burn some clock, and Benton's already in the red zone.
Hey, I'll take 7.
7 works too.
And they've only burned 26 seconds. So first down and 10 Panthers at the El Dorado 15.
I think somebody's close to getting in the penalty box down there.
Woolbright snap, give to Russell. And Russell goes down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Curtis Jefferson and Caden Perry on the tackle for El Dorado. It's 2nd down and 10, Panthers.
Yeah, this is when the game slows down.
So they fake. Oh, Jack Woolbright lost his footing as he faked to Russell. And then the skates went out from underneath him at the 21.
Well, he bumped into his own running back. Shows you what kind of force Braylon Russell has. He didn't look. Little bump with the foot, and that was all it took.
Braylon on the tackle chart, Dio.
I'm telling you.
3rd down and 16. Panthers at the 21. And you're definitely in field goal territory, as we've seen tonight. Lucas Wilbur has already drilled a 49-yard field goal.
They're going to have to call a timeout.
Good call as the snap clock down to 2. And the Panthers will take a timeout. How about we take one with them? 8:44 to go in the 4th quarter. Benton leads at 41-28. This is Benton football, brought to you by M&M Productions.
Allied Glass is a full-service glass shop located in historic downtown Benton. Allied Glass is a 3rd-generation business and family-owned and operated since 1967. Mirrors, shower doors, commercial storefronts, tabletops, screens, plexiglass, and much more. For all your glass needs, call Allied Glass at 501-778-6244, located at 115 East Sevier in downtown Benton.
Appreciate everybody watching tonight. Appreciate Judge Ken Cassidy, who, Terry, I know you and Judge Cassidy got to judge a chili cook-off last Sunday.
We did,
together.
with Dorsey.
With not Blake Dorsey, but Justin Dorsey.
Justin Dorsey.
Yeah, chili cook-off to benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
And you can tell by my waist that I enjoyed it.
Yes. So 3rd down and 16, Benton at the El Dorado 20. Woolbright throws. Davis had gotten open, but Jack just overthrew him in the end zone. And it'll be 4th down, and Brad Harris is going to send on Lucas Wilbur for another field goal attempt.
Boy, this is a very, very, very big field goal, Dio.
So Lucas trying to go 3 for 3 on the night, a 49-yarder, a 20-yarder, and this one is going to come from 38. As Cole Tanner will snap, Logan Owen will hold. And Lucas Wilbur's kick is right down the middle.
Wow.
44-28, Benton leads. And we've got a marker.
Oh, this could be interesting.
Personal foul, El Dorado. And it'll be penalized on the kickoff. Brad Harris is going to leave the points on the board. And I think that's a wise move, Dio. You're up 16, and you're going to get to kick off. Obviously, Lucas Wilbur will put it in the end zone.
Yeah, well, and getting the field goal gives you a 16-point advantage. So now this forces El Dorado, every time they score, they've really got to go for 2. So just makes a difference in the strategy that the El Dorado Wildcat coach has to take, once they do score. And I think your defense can be trusted to stop one of those 2-point conversions. But
Lucas Wilbur, Terry, 5 of 5 extra points, 3 of 3 field goals tonight.
He's been, and not to mention the kickoffs with possibly one of the best return guys in the state. His kickoffs, he's hit 4 I can count in my head that have been in the end zone.
Touchbacks, exactly.
Yeah,
so
and this one's about to be.
He may hit the scoreboard with this one.
Yeah, those guys in the golf carts down there.
They better watch out.
Red alert. So Lucas going to get to kick off from the 45.
Gotta love a left-footed kicker.
Don't you, though?
There's just something about him.
Onside kick. Look at Brad Harris rolling the dice.
Almost. And then we hit somebody late.
Did we?
No, I think it was for the kick out of bounds.
That was out of bounds. Yeah. Okay. Well, we had a little hit right there after the ball had gone out of bounds, and I thought they were going to get us now.
Boy, that was pretty close. If it wouldn't have turned on its side and spun, if it would have kept flicking, Elias would have probably gotten to it.
Well, it's good to see Elias back out there after he was injured not long ago, and Elias all-out dive trying to recover that ball before it went out of bounds. So El Dorado is going to have it at the 37.
Boy, you gotta hope we can get a lid on the top of the defense right now.
Paul Childress lets us know PA's leading Little Rock Christian 49-20 in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
First down. Going to swing it out to Plummer. And Plummer is going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, Benton had that one played very well on the edge.
Who was that made the initial contact? I couldn't see. Was that Walter Hicks?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was Walter Hicks. But I'll tell you this. They played just about every position on that play well.
Yeah.
Defensive line got great penetration, put the pressure on. And Hicks made a great open field tackle.
Second down, they give him a yard. Second down and 9. It's Hicks and Jones showing blitz. Now Hicks backs out. Jones is coming. Elia throws. Catch made on the sideline. And Parker and Harding combine to dump Burns out at the 42.
Well, if all they're going to do is throw 3-yard passes, we'll stay over the top of them so they don't go deep. Give them 3 yards at a time.
Third down and 5 for El Dorado at the 42. Harding and Jones this time showing blitz. Now Harding backs out. Jake still in that stand-up spot. There comes Jake. Elia throws, and Montgomery can't hold on to it as Chris Bernard separated him from the football and comes up flexing.
Yeah. I remember another. We got a buddy, Brian Black, that's watching from Georgia, and I remember when his son Brandon laid a similar hit like that in the El Dorado game.
Fourth down and 5. El Dorado trailing by 16, going to go for it.
We need a sack.
Play signaled in from the El Dorado sideline. Elia in the shotgun. Here comes the Panther pressure. The throw, catch is made, and it is going to be short of the first down. Dominique Grimes is short of the first down as the Panther defense holds on 4th and 5.
That was a heck of a job. Gary Rideout did a fantastic job from the corner position, but then got help from Bernard. Rideout got there and turned him up, but Patrick Ship's the one that held on to him and held him from getting the first down.
Had him in a headlock.
Oh, that was fantastic. Great stand by the PDC.
Just roped him to the ground.
So I just saw a couple of young guys go by. PDFL tomorrow at home, Dio.
We do. We start at 9 in the morning for the 4th grade, and then we follow that up with 5th grade, and then 6th grade around noontime. It's going to be, we're hosting Sheridan, so all across the board, it's going to be a fun time.
So PDF football, if you want a little Saturday morning football tomorrow, come on out to the Palace as the Little Panthers play Sheridan. There's a throw for Drake Womack, who had gotten open and underthrown right in front of Kaysen. Boy, if that ball's on the money, Kaysen, that goes for 6.
Oh, he's wide open. He's gone. He's just got a – I don't know if he thought a safety was coming over the top, but there was nobody over. So, that went for 6.
It looked like it got tipped a little bit or something.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Came out kind of like a screwball.
Yeah, it did come out kind of weird.
Going to go back to the ground with Braylon this time. He bounces off the first hit, trying to bounce off another. Boy, he is just fun to watch down to the 40. That's a 6-yard run.
With a lot of contact.
Yes.
That's a 6-yard run after a 1-yard contact.
I mean, just churning to get those extra yards.
3rd down and 4. Terry, you're going to have to chart yak yards one week for Braylon Russell.
Wow.
Because it is it's enormous, the yards he gets after contact. There's contact in the backfield. And look at Braylon churn.
I mean, Braylon just got hit by 2 guys 2 yards in the backfield and wound up with a 1-yard gain.
He is 6'2", 235 pounds. And fun to watch. 4th down and 3. With 6:15 to go, Panthers appear to be going for it, Terry.
Maddox has that slant right now if they'll catch him.
Jack is going to keep, and Jack's got the 1st down and more. Into the secondary. Jack is going to go all the way. 4th down and 3. Jack Woolbright for 39 yards and a Benton touchdown.
In a nifty run at that. Nifty's the only word I can use for it. Eluded a would-be tackler in the backfield, and then just juking and jiving his way to the end zone. That was nice, Jack.
Boy, what a great play. What a great pull, and then an effort to break the tackle after a couple of yards and then scoot all the way to the end zone. Big touchdown, big play for the Panthers.
Lucas Wilbur's extra point is good, and with 5:56 to go, Benton now leads at 51-28.
Did you think we'd have 51 points in this ball game?
No, sir.
I did not.
I didn't.
I did not. But I think one of the things for this team to be successful is there's got to be a consistency. This is the offense we saw against Sylvan Hills.
Got to run the football.
It's not the offense we saw last Friday at all, Terry.
Got to run the football.
So, got to get consistent. Kaysen, I want to go down to you. That was what Jack Woolbright doing it with his feet.
Hey, I was not expecting that. He went up and ran and said, "Boy, slide." He just kept running, juking and jiving. He made it in the end zone. He kind of looked, I'm not going to say super athletic, but I mean, hey, he got it done.
So Kaysen Mertens is sliding into second on that one,
Oh,
huh?
guaranteed. I see the sticks. I'm down. I'll hand it off to a running back that can really run it.
Spoken like a true throwing quarterback.
4-play, 46-yard touchdown drive that took 1:40 off the clock. And Jack Woolbright capped it with a 39-yard touchdown run. So Lucas is going to pop this kick up high. It's going to hit the ground, takes a high bounce, and fielded by T.J. Dunn. And he is going to be dropped by... Is that Maddox Davis on the tackle and kick coverage?
I think it was. Well, I mean, that's normally where your sophomores play is kickoff coverage. Just happens to be that several of them start for us on offense or defense.
And another one of the golf team.
And another golf team member. And another teenager that can whip my tail on the golf course.
So we got 5:52 to bleed off this clock tonight. Benton leads at 51-28. And Elia in there at quarterback. He's going to be sacked. Ty Matea on the sack for the Benton defense back at the 9-yard line.
Good to see Ty getting in there and getting a sack. How many sacks is that for the Benton defense tonight?
I've got 3, 4, 5 sacks.
Seems like about 100. I mean, we had 2 of them on that one series. Well, there's at least been a lot of pressures.
2nd down and 21 following the sack back to the 8-yard line. Elia drops back. He's flush. Matea had a chance, couldn't corral him, and now Chris Bernard is going to force him out of bounds at the 19-yard line. And that's going to leave El Dorado with a 3rd and 10.
great pressure that time, flushed the pocket, but he's got a little wheels. I mean, he got speed and got to the outside. Chris Bernard had to chase him down from behind.
And Bernard's fast.
Bernard is fast.
Patrick Shipp did a good job holding up and not getting a late hit out of bounds.
3rd down and 10. Elia throwing for Burns, who tried to make a one-handed catch and couldn't pull it in. Javion Parker in coverage for Benton, and it's 4th down and 10 for El Dorado, and they're going to send Cooper Henry on to punt it away.
Well, this is a good move. At some point, you got to recognize where you are in the football game and shut her down.
Jim's just happy that they're not going to kick it into the, backside of their own guard.
Absolutely.
By doing the old quarterback deal.
Oh, my! Oh, wow. They actually.
Yeah, they're going real punt.
For the first time. Cooper Henry averages 48.3 yards per punt.
That's pretty good.
Snaps it over his head. And he's going to let it go out the back of the end zone for a safety.
Defense. Special teams has made that's been a huge part of this game, really. You think about it, how many special teams plays there have been.
Outstanding. You got Lucas Wilbur's field goals. With the exception of the one DeAndre Burns kick return, the Benton special teams has been excellent.
Yeah, and the El Dorado special teams has been subpar. Unfortunately for them. Fortunately for us.
So 53-28 now following the safety with 4:59 to go. The Panthers are going to be the beneficiaries of a free kick here from the 20.
Somebody head upstairs and tell Coach Ray he can't complete a triple pass.
So you want to see it or you want to save it?
Well, I think you show it because I just feel like there's an infinite amount of trickery that you can do with if they get prepared for what they think you're doing. Oh, you thought we were going to do a double pass? Nope, a triple pass.
Guess again.
Guess again.
There's a good shot of Freddie.
I was about to say, there's Freddie. We haven't had any Freddie shots tonight.
Oh, listen, my favorite part of the whole night is dancing now. Pre-game, he was down dancing with the jungle, and he had the whole jungle going with him.
Has anybody told Freddie that the shirt that says 1 on it that he's wearing wasn't designed specifically for him?
Yes, but he doesn't believe you.
Okay, well, that's awesome. That's our PDFL coach's shirt, too. That's what we use as our coach's shirt. So if he comes out to watch, he's going to be super proud that all of us are representing him.
Hey, you can go to Stated and get your Freddie Reinhardt One Panther shirt.
That's where we got ours. And support your touchdown club.
Absolutely. Proceeds of every Panther shirt sold at Stated go right back to the Benton Touchdown Club. So Rivas will kick off for El Dorado. He's going to pop it to the 43-yard line. Elias Payne on the return over the 40. There's the ball, went flying free. It's still on the turf, and Patrick Shipp is going to come up with it as Elias Payne fumbled it into the air about 5 yards upfield. And Patrick Shipp able to fall on the football, and Benton's going to have it at the El Dorado 30.
You know things are going your way when you pick up 6 yards on a fumble.
Yes.
I like seeing the post play, Maddox Davis walking over and patting him on the head saying, hey, man, just play the next play. Don't worry about that.
Now, are they going to bring it back to the spot of the fumble?
No, they marked it up there. But is there not a rule about you can't
fumble it forward?
Well, that's what the El Dorado coach is standing on the field for.
Yeah, Stephen Jones is wanting it moved back to about the 35-yard line. The referees are now conferring about that very question.
Well, they're trying to remember where he was when they are moving it back.
It's only logical. I mean, you'd be rolling the ball forward every time you're tackled if you could.
Yeah, but that's kind of a dangerous. That would That would add a little excitement to the game. Trying to advance it via fumble.
Wasn't there an NFL game that was kind of the origin of that rule?
I think so.
Where they fumbled it and kind of kicked it on purpose to get it into the end zone. Somebody fell on it and actually won the game.
That'd be a great trick play if it was legal. No, didn't the NFL used to have there was a drop kick rule or something?
Yeah, I think they did.
Did they not? Where you drop the ball on the ground and then you kicked it, and then if your player caught it, it was like a.
I'm going to be honest. I work on Sunday, so I don't watch a lot of NFL.
Well, I'm talking about
I got to laugh out of Tony on that one.
This was back in the day.
I got you.
Well before any of us watched NFL football, probably before NFL football was televised. What happened?
I have no idea what's going on right
I've been
now.
up here flapping my gums up here talking about some probably non-existent
And
rule.
I got to be honest with you, I think those guys standing down there on the field aren't really sure about what's going on.
So a dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct against El Dorado.
What'd they do?
I didn't see a mark. Yep, it sure was. It was at the 40-yard line. It was in the 4, in the white of the 4 across the way, and I believe the El Dorado
You think they gave it
bench,
to the coach?
Yes, I believe so. I believe the El Dorado bench is going to be credited with that one, so that's going to move the football all the way to the 20.
Well, I'm just going to say it. There's been some discipline issues on the other side, and they've hurt themselves. El Dorado is a really, really good football team, but they've been their worst enemy tonight.
So Donovan Pearson going to get the carry, and look at the surge by the Panther line. You're talking about resetting a line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Boy, the Panthers did it that time. Isaiah Gibson, Elijah Harris, Connor Morgan.
Boy,
Carter Sanders in there helping Donovan for a 6-yard gain, Terry.
Man, I love seeing Donovan run hard like that. Glad to see him back and healthy.
What was his injury? Collarbone?
I believe it was a hamstring.
Hamstring. Why did I think collarbone?
Those hammies can nag you. Here goes Donovan outside, and he is going to be tackled down around the 8-yard line, but a hold against Benton is going to bring that one back. Javion Carroll on the tackle for El Dorado, but the marker lies at the 19-yard line and a hold against Benton.
Man, these guys have got to be getting sore arms by now. How many penalties is that?
I don't know. 147. It feels like a lot. I guarantee you we're over 147 in penalty yards.
They're going to need some ice for those shoulders.
So 2nd and 19. 4:04 to go in the game. Benton leads at 53-28. Pearson is going to be tackled from behind by Tacoy Stewart. And I'd take that guy on my football team any day.
You betcha.
No gain. It'll be 3rd and 19.
Yeah, that
Donovan had a good angle there, but that's just the law of physics. When you've got 280 pounds hanging on you.
And he's an athletic 280 pounds. He's not lumbering around out there. He's sliding around.
Make a really good Great American Conference defensive lineman. It's Pearson to the short side of the field. And quite the collision between Pearson and Jacory Lumsey. That is a freshman, a 9th grader, number 32 for El Dorado on the tackle.
Wow.
Wow. He's a big old 9th grader. He's not on the sheet up here.
Yep.
Here comes a field goal attempt.
And it's going to be Garrett Honeycutt, the sophomore.
42-yard attempt.
Colby Howard to hold. Honeycutt's kick is up. Does it have the distance? It does.
Wow.
Garrett Honeycutt from 42 yards. And the Benton lead stretches to 56-28. That is the 4th field goal of the night, Dio, for the Benton kicking team.
And, I mean, your backup kicker comes in and kicks a 42-yard field goal? Are you joking with me? That's craziness.
sophomore. I know Brad Harris is very excited about Garrett Honeycutt's future as the kicker.
I would be too. It's exciting to have a kicker in the wings because normally you may get a good kicker once every decade in high school, but to have one right behind your guy that just kicked a 49-yarder make a 42-yarder look easy, that's fantastic. I imagine those guys all play soccer. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
That's
one
Terry
would think.
Beams.
Pretty much. You got you got a pretty steady. Some of these soccer kids don't even know that they can kick a football, and Mike Magnus' son Shane came down and kicked the football just hanging out at registration. Kicked the football for the first time in his life and kicked a 53-yard field goal.
Wow.
So Tate Sparks is going to kick it off for Benton. And he drives the football down to the 5, to the 3, out of bounds at the 1. I want to take a second to remind you that the peanut butter drive that began at the Salt Bowl will continue until next Friday, a week from today. That is when the peanut butter drive will end. Students are asked to bring donations of peanut butter to their campus. The campus in each district that collects the most peanut butter will receive a trophy to display throughout the school year. All donations will be distributed through schools and food pantries throughout Saline County. So, Terry, send that peanut butter with Kate this week, okay?
Yeah.
Is El Dorado going to go to the ground and just allow the clock to run? Thomas Smith on the carry, and he picks up a yard.
Getting a lot of new faces in here for the Benton defense. That's good. Coach Harris having an opportunity to get some of these guys out there, get some game time action.
Yeah, it's good to see Evan Betts, a senior, in there at one of the defensive end spots. Josh Guerreri is in there as well.
Evan Betts in on the tackle.
Nice job, Evan Betts.
And you know how I know it's him? Because I can tell that Michael Bolton-looking hair anywhere. Hey, let me tell you something. Look at those locks. Look at the locks on that screen.
The locks gave it away.
I'm telling you right now. I mean,
I don't know if y'all saw number 73 for El Dorado come in. He's his name is Dontavius Dunlap, 6'3", 320 pounds, and he's a sophomore. That is a big young man down on the playing right tackle.
How about Jake Herbner? He's played nose guard all night. Now he's at middle linebacker. His Panther's going to jump offside. It's going to give El Dorado 5 free yards. It'll make it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, I got a jump that time by Daniel Jordan.
Also got Tristan Ray in there at a cornerback spot. Daniel Lunsford, another senior who we spotlighted in the first Panther Live of the season. And at safety, Bentley Stamper also in there at safety. Is the give to Smith. And he's going to be shy of the first down as they put it down at the 43, and it'll be 4th down and 2.
I don't have 15 on our roster.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Our free safety is not on our roster, so we're going to have to check on that as soon as the game's over. 4th down and 3, El Dorado.
Got it.
Pow! Ty Matea blows the play up in the backfield. Big loss back to the 40-yard line, and that's going to allow the Benton Panthers to take a knee in the victory formation and secure a 56-28 win tonight over El Dorado.
Well, that's a great way to come back after last week. And, you know, last week's disappointing. And I think last week was so disappointing because we didn't play our best. You know what I'm saying? If you lose, you play your best and you lose to somebody, it's one thing. But when you lose to somebody and you didn't really play your best, you missed 26 tackles, that stings because it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? It's on you. You didn't get beat. You beat yourself. So to come back and to have, this kind of play, this kind of attitude out of these Panthers tonight, I think is huge, especially the grind that this conference is. Jack is going to kill his rushing totals.
Oh, my word.
He just took a 10-yard loss. Why'd you do that, Jack?
What are we doing?
He was running. He was trying to get it to where the clock would. Now they don't have to snap it again.
What? Snap it again?
I know, but he took a 10. He just hurt the rushing total by 11 yards.
Stephen Jones and Brad Harris shake hands as the clock is going to expire, and the Benton Panthers win it tonight over El Dorado, 56-28. Tony, appreciate your help. Tony Linehan of the Saline Cougar. He will have his game article in tomorrow morning's Cougar, and then we'll also have it posted after it appears in the Cougar on the BentonPantherFootball.com website. I always appreciate Tony's help so much. Clock expires, horn sounds, and the Benton Panthers have won it tonight, 56-28 over El Dorado. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with the CTS Industrial Services Panther postgame show. This is Benton Panther Football, brought to you by M&M Productions.
Merchants and Farmers Bank is built around hard work and dedication, offering big bank products but small bank friendly, working hard to help individuals or businesses reach their financial goals or dreams, dedicated to providing great friendly customer service, all the while getting to know our customers. This reflects our motto, building relationships, one customer at a time. We'd like to invite you to be next. Stop in today at the corner of Spring Hill and Highway 5 in Bryan, or our newest branch at 300 North Main Street in downtown Benton, where you'll find that your experience here matters. Visit our website today at mfbanknet.com or find us on Facebook, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hamilton Family Dentistry, dental care that grows with you. We're family owned and are ready to provide dental care for your family. From your newborn baby to your great-grandparents, we see them all. Give us a call at 653-2422 or come visit us at 2422 Spring Hill Road.
It's a happy group of Panthers that finished shaking hands with the El Dorado Wildcats. Both teams congratulating each other on a well-played game. As we move to a very happy CTS Industrial Services Panther postgame show tonight, as Benton wins at 56-28 over El Dorado. Dio, it was a great bounce-back win, and I know Brad Harris's word of the week was tough.
Yeah.
Tough. That was a tough win tonight.
Yeah.
A tough team.
Yeah, they played tough. I mean, that was in the second quarter. They showed some real grit. That's one of those things that when it comes to winning difficult ball games with a lot of athletes, I mean, El Dorado's going to win a bunch of ball games this year. I think that they've got the athletes, and as the season goes on, they'll get better. But great job by the Panthers tonight in all phases of the game, offense, defense, and especially special teams. They were really special tonight.
A sneak peek at the stat sheet, guys, shows El Dorado finishes the night 27 carries for -6 yards.
Wow.
Rushing. I would never in my wildest imagination dream of a Benton defense holding El Dorado to negative rushing. But that was back to one of the keys of the game, the pressure on the quarterback. A lot of that negative yardage came via the sack.
Yeah, that's right. Or sacks.
Sacks.
As in plural.
Yes.
I mean, the Panther defense really stepped up to the occasion, playing against, quite frankly, some of the most dangerous offensive players that we're going to see this year. Marion, next week's opponent, certainly is loaded at the skill position as well.
Well, I'll never forget the name Donnie Cheer. He tore us up in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marion. Anyway, don't bring up bad memories.
We're going to unfortunately see him again next week. So now, Kaysen, you've got to assert yourself, and you've got to get in there to Coach Harris before those other guys do, man.
Your mic's off too. That might help.
Hello.
Yes. Okay.
This is my second time. I don't want to be too pushy over here, guys.
No, you got to be super pushy.
I'll drop kick this guy right now.
Hey, you're the man. You're the man.
Okay.
Hey, Coach White
Yeah?
said he sure wished – he said you did a great job on the sideline tonight, but he wished you would have ran like Jack Woolbright.
Come on, Coach White.
Hey, I'm just repeating what he sent me.
No, I'll have to get that, man. I'll have to get him. Hold on 1 second. We'll get one.
All right, I'll tell you what. We'll come right back to you. Just some individual numbers real quick. Braylon Russell finished the night 25 carries, 128 yards rushing.
What about his do you have his
I'm going to get, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Chris Bernard, 5 for 45. Jack Woolbright, 3 for 38. Jack finished 16 of 24 passing for 215 yards. Drake Womack led with 6 catches for 59. Braylon had 5 catches for 40. Maddox, 4 catches for 82. Logan Owen, 4 catches for 51 on the night. DeAndre Burns, impressed with him. 14 catches, 186 yards, and he also had the kickoff return for a touchdown. I mean, impressive night for that young man.
Yeah, he's an impressive player.
Fun to watch.
Wow. So Braylon Russell had 190 yards all-purpose.
168.
Oh, what did he have rushing?
128.
Oh, I thought you said 158. My bad. I don't know where I got that. So 128 and then 50 through the air. Jack Woolbright, big night. I mean, 16 to 24, that's 67% passing. That's phenomenal.
I tell you, I'm gonna lobby hard for Evan Betts for one of our senior spotlights this week. Because he's one of those seniors that got in there at the end of the game, made a nice tackle defensively.
He did.
The problem is we've got to pick a couple of MVPs for our HBA construction, and there are multiple candidates tonight, Terry. I don't know that we want to limit it just to offense, defense, because special teams played such a huge role tonight in the win.
We got to put Lucas Wilbur up there for something.
But special teams is also part of offense, and Lucas Wilbur scored a lot of points tonight, guys. And as far as I'm concerned, Lucas Wilbur is my offensive player of the game.
Okay. As we continue to think about it, let's go down to Kaysen with Brad Harris.
All right, real quick, Coach, congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it.
Great. I got a couple of questions for you. So, man, just hard game last week, and then for these guys to come out and put up 56 points, hold El Dorado a great offense of 28 points. What do you take from last week to this week?
Well, like I told these guys just a minute ago, I thought the effort was just so much better. I thought we went back to like we played against Sylvan Hills and even the Bryant game. I thought we had great effort. Especially on the defensive side of the ball. We attacked the ball really well tonight. We didn't miss tackles against a really good running back. Now, we did let 3 get away from us, but that dude can roll. We don't have anybody on our team that can run with him, okay? And he got away from us a few times, but we'll take that. The biggest thing is we was afraid of one controlling the ball and making big plays, and we did a heck of a job on him. That was the game plan, is try to take him away, slow him down. We knew he was going to give up some stuff to 3, and we did that tonight, but we limited number 1 to very minimal gains.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So the game last week to this week, man, great momentum. Guys feeling good, high energy. Got a tough one going into Marion next week. So what do you tell your guys here going into this next week?
Well, we got to come back, have a better week of practice, honestly. We didn't practice well this last week, and I tried to emphasize that today and a little bit of pregame talk and all that. We played well tonight, but we got to start practicing better. That way we get up on the good teams. And next week, Marion's a very good team. They beat these guys 27-23 at their place a couple weeks ago, and we owe Marion one. They came in here and got us last year in the playoffs, and we didn't feel like we played well. So we really need to emphasize it this week in practice, attack each day, and get ready to go to Marion next week.
Absolutely. Awesome. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you next week.
All right, Kaysen, weigh in with your final words.
My final words?
Yeah, final thoughts.
Hey, 56 points? Hey, come on. Hey, we got to like that. Great rushing, great offensive line. I like the quarterback play tonight, and then the receivers played like some dogs tonight, so proud of those boys. Good all-around defense. Let's go Panthers, baby.
All right, great job, Kaysen. 56-28 is Kaysen doing a great job. Our all-conference, all-state quarterback, and now all-state sideline.
And an all-star.
Yeah.
He was an all-star.
That's true.
Played in the all-star game.
And coaching a little PDFL tomorrow morning, right?
He's my offensive coordinator, and you know what? Let me tell you something. You want to talk about situational plays. We have not installed some of these plays, and we've got a double pass that he came up with in the huddle on the fly, and they executed it. He's a good offensive coordinator. Just give it to him.
All right, final stats. Y'all got those ready downstairs? There we go. Final stats. Benton wins at 56-28. A lot of things leap off the page, but that -6 for El Dorado rushing is just phenomenal.
That blows my mind. It blows my mind that we allowed 329 yards of passing, but the other one that sticks out is 22 penalties between the two teams for over 200 yards in penalties. That can be a difference maker, one way or the other moving forward. But Panthers really just dominant across the board against the Wildcats tonight.
And very balanced.
Yeah.
Very balanced on offense, and which always helps. But, hey, look, let's go back to that defense. 3 of 11 on third down. And, again, 2 of those 3 were on the first drive. I'm really proud of that defense of just locking in from the first drive on and really finding a way to get off the field.
Well, think about it like this, Terry. In the first half, remember, we were looking at it between third and fourth down. El Dorado was 3 of 6. So they were 50% converting on third down. Second half, at the end of the second half, we only allowed 1 out of 5 additional attempts. So defense really stepped up.
Yeah.
In the second half there.
4 of 15 on third and fourth down for the entire game.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's just fantastic defense. Really proud of the Panther demolition crew.
So back to our HBA construction MVP, Terry. You were lobbying for Lucas Wilbur.
Lucas Wilbur on offense, and the Sports Center play of the game is going to get my defensive pick. Gary Rideout making that club interception, that was fantastic. But that's not the reason I'm picking him. The reason I'm picking him is we needed him and his athleticism to step in and play a big role on this defense. And he did that. He did it hurt and was still able to come up with about 2 or 3 key plays, including a big interception.
Well, I can agree with you. And I mean, I want to give Jack Woolbright some credit because his completion rate was well. He ran for a touchdown. He really led the offense tonight. I feel like he did a really good job there. So I would say, but I love Lucas Wilbur. I think that what he did tonight was really special. So if we want to give Lucas Wilbur the offense, or if we want to go, another offensive player and give a special teams MVP, we can do that. Whatever you guys think. And then on defense, man, there's so many guys that came in and stepped up and did a really good job. Walter Hicks had a huge game. Bernard had a huge game. Both of those guys had big games, but I like what Rideout did. He came in, made an INT. Bernard had 2 fumble recoveries. I mean, who do you pick?
So Mason texted us in the third quarter with his pick. I kind of come from the John Penn school of this thing. And I'm gonna lobby for Chris Bernard, and here's why. He had a 35-yard touchdown run on offense.
Yeah.
With Braylon Russell not 100%, Chris Bernard spelled him tonight.
That's right.
Chris Bernard had a 36-yard punt inside the 20. He also recovered 2 fumbles, and I've got him at 9 tackles.
Wow.
With a blind eye. So you think about all 3 phases, how important it was for him to show up. I'd be all for us going Lucas Wilbur, Chris Bernard, and not really trying to pigeonhole offense and defense this week.
I think that's fair. I'm down with that. My vote.
I'm good with it.
You good with it?
I'm good
Second
with it.
that motion.
Okay, but we're going to have a lot of honorable mentions to give out.
A lot of them.
Because
a lot.
This was a team win with a lot of heroes tonight.
Yeah, really was.
It's one of the best team wins that I've seen the Panthers play in a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of guys that stepped up for a lot of guys, and that's what the team thing is all about. It's the next man up, and each one of these guys was a next man up in some capacity, and when the team was counting on them, they delivered for the team, and that's the kind of football I love.
And the adversity they faced this week, coming off that tough loss with some loss among family members of players, with coaches, relatives battling illness this week. There was a lot of adversity that this team faced, and they played
running
tough.
back with a stomach virus on game day.
Yes.
Lots of stuff going on.
Yep. So it's a very, very impressive win tonight for the Benton Panthers, 56-28 over El Dorado. Guys, we're going to be in the Jim Landers broadcast remote booth next week.
Nice.
We're not going to Marion. Our camera folks will, but we will be down in the industrial park at the Palatial M&M Productions studio.
Terry's never gotten that opportunity. It's the most glorious way to broadcast a distant away game.
The biggest challenge is what's for dinner.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So,
well, I think Rick Bellinger can
get to the call.
Can take care of that.
Terry, you go ahead and handle that. I do like some catfish.
Hey, before next Friday, though, we want to invite you all to join us Tuesday at Lost Pizza for Panther Live at 6:30.
So much fun.
It is, isn't it? And we'll recap this very good win. We'll preview next week's game with Coach Brad Harris and tonight's HBA Construction Most Valuable Players, Lucas Wilbur and Chris Bernard. Our next broadcast of Benton Panther football will be next Friday as the Panthers travel to the banks of the mighty Mississippi to take on the Marion Patriots. Quite frankly, a team that has been our kryptonite the last couple of years. We'll be on at 6:30 with the Everett Buick GMC Panther pregame show before kickoff at 7 o'clock. A big thank you tonight to the best high school broadcast production team in all of Arkansas. Our M&M production crew tonight has been Barrett Pfeiffer directing, Jonathan Webb on replay, Morgan Garrett on graphics, Aaron Garrett on audio, Dallas Hall, Brandon Ramirez, and Marcus Robinson on camera, and Matt Johnson engineering. On behalf of Terry Benham, Kason Mertens, Dio Vanucci, Tony Linehan, and the #1 fan of the Fighting Panthers, Freddie Reinhardt, I'm Jim Gardner. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for Benton Panther football. Again, tonight's final score, Benton 56, El Dorado 28. Until we greet you next Friday, good night, God bless, and go Benton.